是好手。那今天呢，要来跟大家在这边一起熬夜，看看2016年 Apple 的 WWDC 开发者年会会端出什么样的好料。那这一次呢，我们不播放音乐了。因为音乐实在是之前我们播放音乐，结果就被 YouTube 判定音乐是不合法的，所以我们就先不播放音乐了这一次。好，那在 WWDC 开始还有大概15分钟的时间，我们就先来聊聊看，今年 WWDC 大家预测会发表些什么东西。那 iOS 的部分呢，没有意外的话，应该还是就是 iOS 10。那 iOS 10的部分，那今年还不晓得，到底会有什么样的新功能。那因为这一次不管是国内或是国外，来猜的其实都不多。OK， 那其实现场现在，其实已经开始传来了一些音效。那除了 iOS 10以外呢，还有 Siri 的部分。那 Siri 这一次如果有在关注 Apple 的朋友，应该会知道，Apple 的 Siri 团队已经出走的差不多啦。所以这一次 Siri 能推出什么样功能，其实大家应该会非常期待，因为下一次 Siri 的新功能很可能就不是原本团队所做的这些开发这些产品。那这次有风声说 Siri 这次可能会把它的开发套件SDK 的部分开放给第三方的开发者使用。也就是说呢，你未来可能可以透过 Siri 去操作其他 App 的功能，比如说你可以在Facebook 里面启用 Siri， 然后告诉他说你要分享照片。等等这些，那可能在开放第三方的资料第三方的截取以后呢，应该就会有越来越多的功能，那我们就看到越来越多的应用在 Siri 上面。那当然呢，这个是我们猜的，还不晓得。那再一个呢是在 Apple Watch，Apple Watch 2应该是不会在这次发表，那但是Watch OS 3有可能在这一次会推出新版的。在省电上也许会有一些进步，但是可能还是有限啦，因为毕竟电池容量就是这么小。那还有另外一个是我们也期待看看这一次 Watch OS 它有没有办法开放让其他的系统去接取。那目前 Watch OS 其实大部分你是没有办法搭配iPhone 或是Apple 的装置以外的装置来使用，那其实对一些人来说其实蛮麻烦的哈。那 Mac 的部分呢，其实每年差不多到6月的这个 WWDC 都会发表新版本的Mac OS。那今年可能会有什么样的功能，我们大家也可以期待看看。那另外在支付方面，Apple Pay 台湾前阵子主管机关的态度也已经偏向开放了，所以这一次呢，我们看看 Apple Pay 有没有机会列入这一波的开放的名单中那目前到上个月底为止，在美国、英国、中国、新加坡等等全世界大概有6个国家已经上线。那台湾呢？我们看看这一次呢有没有办法在WWDC 上面宣布可以启用 Apple Pay。那如果启用 Apple Pay，Apple Pay 如果在台湾可以启用的话，那相信对大家平常在支付上无论是在超商或是你在一般店面可以刷卡、感应刷卡的地方，都会非常便利那目前的话，好手知道大概便利商店那还有比如说全联这一些这样子的一个小型的量贩店或者是很多其实你很多可以刷卡的地方你只要看到它上面有画一个很像无线网络 WiFi 的那个标志那它可能写着是Visa PayWave 等等的这样子这些 icon 的，那它可能就可以搭配 Apple Pay 使用。那另外还有一个传言是Apple 上面的 iMessage 可能可以开放在 Android 上使用。好，那其实这个如果说它开放的话，那对于其实很多人来说，你就不需要去装 WhatsApp 或是 Line WeChat 等等的这一些 App， 那透过 iMessage 其实就可以完成大部分的工作了那这个呢，其实一开放起来以后，对这些即时通讯的软体来说，其实是有非常大的挑战因为等于说这一些系统里面就已经内建了这样的一个功能，使用者就不需要再去安装特别的软体你只要在通讯录里面的人，那也许就可以直接使用了。还有8分钟的时间，我们就来等一下。这些系统里面就已经配建了这样的一个功能，使用者就不需要。
That's the sound of Netsky from his brand new album, available right now to check out on Apple Music. It's just simply called 3. And on it's a song called TNT, featuring Dave One from Chromeo. Shout out to that whole family. It's a very special situation going all around the world right now as we get ready, of course, for the WWDC not far away right now. For all those people that love Apple, that are tapped in, are checking it out online, you've got Beats One. Right now it's your soundtrack. And everybody, of course, in the room as well. Countdown.
Hey, it's a little funky in here, okay? Oh, that hurts. It's got to be funky.
好，倒数进入5分钟的时间，还没上厕所的呢，赶快趁这个机会去上厕所。那还没洗澡的呢，赶快去趁这个时间去洗个战斗澡吧。
Ladies and gentlemen, our presentation will begin shortly. As a courtesy to our presenters and other members of the audience, please take this moment to switch all electronic devices to silent mode. Thank you.
好，来到了1点整了，这个活动要准备开始了。那现场音乐呢已经停掉了，那接下来我们来看一下谁会先来告诉我们一个什么样的惊喜呢？
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
声音目前这样子还算清楚吗？那如果说有声音不够大声的，大家可以在右边留言反映一下。
We'd like to take a moment to talk about the tragedy that occurred yesterday in Orlando, Florida. We offer our deepest sympathies to everyone whose lives were touched by this violence. It was a senseless, unconscionable act of terrorism and hate aimed at dividing and destroying. The Apple community is made up of people from all around the world, from all different backgrounds and all different points of view. We celebrate our diversity. We know that it makes us stronger and moves everyone forward. Please rise and join us in a moment of silence to honor the victims and the people who love them. Thank you. Thank you. Hello and welcome to WWDC 2016. It's great to be here at the legendary Bill Graham Auditorium in beautiful San Francisco. We have a really big and jam-packed morning planned for you, and we couldn't be more excited. Let me give you some details on the conference this year. This is our 27th Worldwide Developers Conference. The developer community has never been more vibrant. We now have 13 million registered developers, with 2 million added in the last year alone. The conference this year sold out, over 5,000 attendees, and millions more watching on the live stream. This is truly a worldwide conference. We have people here from over 74 countries. We're excited that we're attracting so many new developers. Over 70% of the attendees at the conference this year are attending the conference for the very first time. And we're investing in the next generation of developers. We've awarded 350 scholarships this year. These guys are incredible. If you see them, make sure that you congratulate them. We have over 100 attendees at the conference this year that are under 18 years of age. The youngest is only 9. Wow. I met her yesterday, and she is going to make one heck of a great developer. Now, this week is about helping you get the most out of our platform. So we have over 100 engineering-led sessions and over 150 hands-on labs with over 1,000 Apple engineers on site here to help you through the week. The App Store started 8 years ago with only 500 apps. Recently, we passed a major milestone. We now have 2 million apps on the App Store.
在 App Store 上面已经有200万个 App 在上面。
Your 2 million apps have been downloaded 130 billion times.
这个下载数字也是非常惊人。
The App Store is the best business opportunity for developers. we're about to pass $50 billion paid directly to developers. This is absolutely amazing. And of course, successful developers translates to us having the best apps on our platform for users. And this is what really matters. Now, we have a busy morning planned, but I'd like to take a moment to talk about why we do what we do at Apple. Our North Star has always been about improving people's lives by creating great products that change the world. And we've been doing this for a long time. But today, for the very first time, we're going to talk to you about 4 Apple platforms. Each of these platforms is category defining and world changing. The Macintosh changed personal computing. Today, it's the most innovative and loved personal computer on the planet. iPhone changed phones forever. It's the best smartphone experience and the gold standard by which everything else is measured. The iPad magically transforms a glass canvas into anything that you want it to be. It's our clearest expression of the future of personal computing. Apple Watch, only 1 year old, it's already the ultimate device for a healthy life. And Apple TV, just announced last fall based on the idea that the future of TV is apps. It's already transforming the biggest screen in our homes. Now, we love creating great apps. We love creating great products that change the world. But we can't do it alone. Developers are a crucial part of that journey. You are a part of everything that we do and everything that we will do going forward, because it's together that we enrich people's lives. Now, we offer you 4 incredible platforms that power these world-changing product experiences. watchOS, tvOS, OS X, iOS. We're going to move each of these platforms
目
forward
前
today.
Apple 上面已
And
经
we'd
有
like to get
4个作业
started
系统，
with
分别
watchOS.
在
And to do that,
行
I'd
动
like to
装
invite
置、
Kevin
穿戴装
Lenshaw.
置，
Kevin?
还有笔记型的电脑上面使用。
Thank you, Tim. So I am really excited to talk with you about watchOS and show you some of what's ahead. Now, people who are using Apple Watch love it, particularly
现在先来
quick
看看
glances at
watchOS
information and quick interactions. And our top focus is performance, and we've made optimizations across the entire system, including a serious acceleration in app launch time. Your app should actually respond instantly. And the information you look at should be updated before you go look, so it's ready the instant that you are, so you're not waiting. In watchOS 3, your favorite apps can respond instantly. So let's take a look. So we're going to accomplish this by keeping your favorite apps in memory. We're going to support background updates of data and refresh the information so it's ready the instant that you are. And then we support quickly launching these apps and interacting with them. This is going to work for both the built-in apps and third-party apps. Let's take a look at an example. This is watchOS 2, and we're going to look at an app called OneFootball. We're going to launch it from the complication on the bottom left, and we're going to see how long it takes. So here we are launching the app. It takes a few seconds to launch, and then once it launches, it loads some data, and it updates. There we go. So that is a pretty typical example in watchOS 2. Now we're going to take a look at OneFootball launching in watchOS 3. Are you guys ready? Okay, don't blink. That's it.
对，在 watchOS 3上面看，它可能多了一些背景资料更新的机制。
So that example is about 7 times faster, but it feels like a
速
million
度
times faster.
读取在这些反应速度上
So
更快
we've made it
了
really easy to access your
3
favorite
倍。
apps. You can just press the side button below the crown to show what we call the dock. You can choose which apps go here, and you can quickly scroll through them.
OK， 就是这一颗 Home 键呢，现在看起来终于有更好的功
The
能
apps are now both
可以
glanceable
快速的
and
切换这些
interactive rather than separate concepts. And this is a dramatic improvement in how it feels to use the watch. So this increased performance allowed us to have access to our favorite apps quickly. We want to be able to access them anywhere. So by using the side button, you can get to them easily. Now another key design goal we had was to make the watch feel more familiar. And so we've done, with the watch face now, we've added Control Center. You just swipe up from the bottom, just like on iOS, and very familiar.
OK， 那现在呢，在WatchOS 上面也有这个控制中心，
So this is a
有点
giant
像是
improvement in how
iPhone
it
从
feels to
底部
use
拉
apps
起来
and to，
你可
navigate
以
the watch
在
very
上面
simply
看到
and
一些
easily in
基本资
WatchOS
讯
3.
那也可以看
Now
到
we've also made it
快
more
速切换一些
powerful to
设
reply
定。
to messages. So now when you receive a message, you can see the ways to respond right there. We've removed a step. You don't have to actually press reply now. You can just pick the way you'd like to reply. And if you just scroll down, you'll see your smart replies right below the message. So you can just tap to reply in less than a second. Now sometimes you don't see exactly the response you like, and you're not in a situation where you can use dictation. So wouldn't it be great if you could just write your message on the watch? Well, we're introducing a new way to do that with something that we call Scribble. With Scribble, you have a new way to respond just by writing what you like on the screen. You can just quickly draw the letters for your message right there, like writing something like Starbucks. You
可以
can
直
see
接
the
在
letters
手
go
表
right
上
on
面
top of each other.
直接透过这个荧幕上面书写字那但是这个中文可能还不大适用，因为那个画面实在太
So
小
it's a
了，写
great
起来
new
可
way to
能有点
respond
困
with
难，
just the response that you
可能
like
要一直
on
触
your
控笔
watch.
才有办法写
Now the watch face is great for quick looks, and it reflects your style, and it's also the character of the device. And we've had Mickey as a fun watch face that I like to use on weekends, but I know what my daughter's going to really love is Minnie is coming to the watch now. And of course you can choose from a variety of colors for her outfit that match our bands perfectly.
背景声音还是讲话声音。
Now one of the most frequent things people do is look at their activity rings, and we're adding a new watch face specifically for that called Activity. So it's a great, beautiful way to see your rings throughout the day. It comes not only in the analog version, but also a really nice chronograph version and a digital version. So a super good way for looking at your progress during the day. We've also added a really simple new face that we call numerals, which is very beautiful. And the hours actually go around the dial during the day, and you can choose from a variety of fonts that match your style. So a really simple new watch face called
这
numerals.
个是新的表
Now
面
there's a lot of watch faces to choose from, and we're finding that people are actually switching between faces for different occasions. So we're going to make that super easy. You can now just swipe to switch to the face you'd like to use. And you can choose which faces you'd like and how they're configured so you can easily get to them.
所以那现
We've
在
also
只要
added
透
the
过
ability to add more
只要
complications
滑
to faces
左右
like
滑画
whether
面
you're
的
on the
方式，
photos
就可以
phase.
快
So
速
now
的去
really
切换
simple to navigate
表
and
面
use your watch faces as well. Let's see all this
还有
stuff
设
running
定表
live.
面的一些
For
基
a
本功
demo,
能。
please welcome Stacy Lysick.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning. I could not be more excited to have the opportunity to show you watchOS 3 today. I wake up to my favorite new face, just the girl I've been looking for. Now, in watchOS 3, you have a place to keep all of your favorite apps. You choose which apps go in your dock, and you choose the order. I can bring up my dock by pressing the side button, and I can swipe through my apps one at a time, or lay my finger down on these dots at the bottom of the screen and fly through my dock to get to any
按一
app.
下侧边的按钮，就可以
And
切
the
换
apps in my
不
dock
同的
are
app。
live. So I can get a quick glance at information without even launching an app, like how close I am to closing my activity rings. And the apps have been redesigned to put me within one tap of the thing I most want to do. Let's take a look at the timer app. One tap to launch it, and it's right there waiting for me. I can still set a custom timer if that's what I want to do, but the most common choices for a timer are right here on the screen. So with one tap, I can set a 10-minute timer and get right back to what I was doing. Even my favorite apps from the App Store can be in my dock, like Sweat with Kayla
那这个预
and
览的
Lyft,
画面看起
and
来
they
是即
are
时更
lightning
新的。
fast too. Let's take a look.
那这个呢，会不会影响到
With one tap,
最后
I can
Apple
call a
Watch
car.
的使用的时间？这个
Yikes,
我们
3
可以再
minutes.
观察
I
看
have
看
so。much to show you, like new apps, reminders, and Find My Friends that have been designed specifically for this kind of quick interaction. Let's look at reminders. Now I can keep all my lists with me throughout the day and just check things off as I get them done. Here's my bucket list. You don't get to do this very often. But today's just one of those days. Find My Friends takes advantage of background updates to ensure I always have the latest and greatest location for my friends and family. Now I never have to worry about whether my kids got to their activities on time. And we wanted to make changing your watch face as easy as swiping through apps on your dock. And while many is fabulous for a casual weekend, sometimes I want to wear something simple and elegant. Now with an edge-to-edge swipe, I can get to my new home space. And for those of you as obsessed with closing your rings as I am, we now have the activity face. Every time I raise my wrist, I get to see those big, beautiful rings reminding me to get up and get moving. And I can launch my workout right from the face. With a new quick start feature, I can bypass setting up a goal and just get started. I didn't really come dressed for a workout today, so I'm gonna swipe over, end that, and take us back to our watch face. Notifications are still right where you think they'd be, pulled down from the top of the screen. This is a message I saved from my friend Isabel. She's been teaching me a little Mandarin, and she wants me to reply about dinner tonight in Chinese. I can do that with the new Scribble feature. Scribble works in English and Chinese, and it knows what language my keyboard has been set to.
Okay, Scribble
So
可
with
以
my
输入
finger, I can write out a
中
quick
文
message.
和英文哦，它真的要先写中文，这不是写正体中文哦，但是这也是一个很好的开始了哈，至少一开始就可以写中文，只是如果遇到正体中文的时候，可能辛苦一点哈。如果写一只龟在上面，大家可以想想看，写一个龟在上面要怎么写？
That was awesome, Stacy. Thank you. And it's so exciting to achieve this new level of performance on the watch. And we're finding that people who are wearing Apple Watch wear it all the time. And this opens up some new great ways that we can help. And one of these is actually getting help in critical situations, just by pushing a button that's actually on you. So you might be having a medical emergency, for example, or a safety situation. And we're going to be able to help with that with SOS on the watch, and we're going to make it easy to call for help. To activate it, you just press and hold the side button. It's going to count down to let you know it's calling 911. And then you're going to be on a live call with emergency services right on your watch. And this works either as a cellular call via your iPhone or directly from the watch if you're connected to Wi-Fi. And after you're done talking on the phone with emergency services, the watch will automatically notify your emergency contacts. It'll send them a message. And the message also will include a map of your current location so they know where you are.
Okay,
they can coordinate with each other. Now after sending the message, the watch will actually now show your medical ID, which is also a new feature in WatchOS.
那就可以
It
传
has
送你
things
现在
like,
的
for
位置
example, your
给
age,
你的紧
allergies,
急
and
联
other
络人，
information
那
you'd
还
like
有
to
一
put
些
there.
有关你的
And SOS works
医疗资讯，
not only just in the
那它也
US,
可以
it
帮你
works
打
internationally.
91，
So for example, you might
这
be
些
traveling
急救用
someplace
途
like
使
Hong
用。
Kong, and you might not know what the emergency number is to call, but your Apple Watch does. So in this case, it calls 999 rather than 911. So this is an emergency feature that isn't one that you'll use often, but when you need it, it's going to be there, and that's SOS. Now, one of the primary reasons people are wearing the watch today is for fitness and health, and we're enhancing the activity and workout apps, and we're adding a new app that we think you're going to love. Take a look at this. Please welcome Jay Blahnik.
好，那会后呢，我们也会把这些重点都整理在应试要学的文章上面。那大家可以，如果没有跟上的呢，可以到时候明天用到明天早上，今天稍晚，可能我们就会发出这些整理文章，那大家可以上来看看到底它发表了一些什么重点。
Some people are motivated by getting support from their family and friends, and if you're like me, you're motivated by good old-fashioned competition. And we wanted to make that possible as well. So with WatchOS, we're introducing activity sharing. And it couldn't be simpler. All you have to do is swipe to the right of your own activity rings, and there you will see your selected family and friends rings as well.
你可以把你的每天的运动记录呢，跟你的朋友分享。 那
So you can
当
sort
然
by
这个
steps, you can sort by
也可以让朋友
workouts,
互相
you
督
can
促
even
你
sort
一
by
下。
exercise minutes.
如果今天
Here you'll
偷懒
see
运
that
动
I've
呢，就
sorted
是
by
最常发生
maneuvering,
偷懒运
and
动
I'm
呢
right where you expect
朋
me
友
to
或
be.
是
I'm
亲
getting my
戚
butt kicked by
就可以
Stacy,
叮咛
but I
你
am
一下，就知道
annihilating
啊，
Jeff,
今
which
天
makes
忘
me
了运
very
动了，应
happy.
该运动，不然要变胖了。
If you want to see more details, all you do is tap on anyone on your activity list, and you'll get an up-close look at their activity rings. But you can also see things like their daily step count and their workouts, even from third parties. But one of my favorite features is that you can communicate directly with the people that you're sharing activity with right in the activity app through messages. And when you do, you'll get smart replies that are geared around fitness and activity. Some are supportive, some are a little more competitive, but you can also do some fun things. For example, at the end of a workout, you could send your racing heart rate to one of your activity friends. Or your racing heart rate to one of your activity friends, or you can also send smack talk in your own voice right through audio messages. So we think this is going to be a great way for you and your friends to stay motivated to keep each other active, and we can't wait for you to try it. Now, our team has been working hard to enable features that would allow more people to use the activity and workout apps. And one group we've been thinking a lot about is wheelchair users. Now, many wheelchair users already have an Apple Watch, and they've written us and told us that they love it because it gives them instant access to messages and notifications right from their wrist. And this is particularly important because many wheelchair users have to tuck away their iPhone securely throughout the day. But to do a great activity and workout experience, we also recognize that we couldn't just use the same algorithms that we've used for non-wheelchair users because the biomechanics are completely different. For example, many wheelchair users use a semicircular technique when they're pushing their wheelchair throughout the day. But as the terrain changes and the speed changes, they may switch to an arc technique or a single loop over technique. And this is what makes it complicated. These are only a few of the techniques that they may use. We knew that to do this right, we'd not only have to do a lot of studies, but we would also need to enlist the help of experts. So we worked with the Challenged Athletes Foundation and the Lakeshore Foundation. These are two of the world's largest organizations that are dedicated to promoting physical fitness for people in wheelchairs. With their help, we were able to conduct the studies, and we were able to do it on a wide variety of wheelchair users, including some veterans.
OK， 在运动这些运动功能，除了一般我们正常一般人可以用以外，那针对一些身障人士或是其他特殊运动项目的话，也 Apple 这次设计了一些特殊的模式，可以也让他们来做一些运动。当然就是复健啊，这一类的运动。
We could not be more excited about this feature, and we're incredibly thankful to our partners for helping make it possible. Now, one of the things that we've learned about health and Apple Watch is that simple things like the activity rings can be very powerful at helping people change behavior. But we also know that there's a lot more to health than just fitness. And we've been thinking way beyond that. So with watchOS, we're launching a brand new app for health. It's called Breathe. And it's designed to guide you through simple, deep breathing sessions that can help you quiet your mind, relax your body, and just better deal with everyday stress. Now, yoga practitioners have been using deep breathing exercises for thousands of years as a way to positively impact the body and mind. But the medical community has also embraced deep breathing as a great way to improve daily health. Dr. Deepak Chopra, one of the early advocates of body-mind medicine, has said, taking a moment every day to do some deep breathing can reduce stress, calm the body-mind, as well as have long-term health benefits. Now, to get to the app, it's easy. You can launch it from your watch face, you can launch it from the dock, or, like the stand reminders, you can actually set smart notifications to remind you and start building this as a habit every single day.
现代人真的很辛苦啊，连呼吸都需要靠，都要靠这个 App 来帮忙。不过如果压力大的话，深呼吸的确是有办法帮助我们去放松一下身体的心情啊，尤其是被同事激到啊，被老板骂啊，或者是做了什么坏事啊， 都可
When
以
the session's over,
用这个。
you'll get a summary. And you'll also get your heart rate from the last few seconds of the session you just did. Now, if you already do deep breathing, we think this is going to be a great way for you to fit it into your day more often. But for those of you that
做了深
don't,
呼
we
吸
think
以后
this
呢
is going to be a
它会
great
告
way
诉
to
你
get
现在目前
started
的心
and
跳
just
怎么
one
样。
more simple way
那
that it can help you live a better
其实
day.
中
These
国
are
也有
just a
叫
few
做
of the exciting
归
updates
息
we have planned for fitness
深
and
呼
health
吸
through WatchOS.
然后憋气
And I'm going to give it back
这
to
样的
Kevin.
方式就是养生。
Thank you, Jay. That was really terrific. I was actually using the Breathe That backstage. It helped me a bit. So WatchOS
他
3
应
is
该也
a
很紧张，
giant
他
step
需要
forward
Breeze
for
来
you
帮
as
他一
developers.
下哈。
When someone adds your apps to the dock or to the watch face, it benefits from all the instant launch experience that we were showing, and you get background time to update your information before someone goes and looks. And that will enable really quick interactions with your app on the watch. Now, you can already build apps that are native to watch so you can run independent of iPhone, but we're also adding a number of new APIs that you can take advantage of when you're building apps for the watch. One of those is support now for Apple Pay within your app on the watch, so you can do purchases right there. Fitness apps will now be able to run in the background during workouts, enabling access to real-time heart rate information and motion data. This is going to enable a whole new category of fitness apps on the watch. Also, we're enabling a much richer and expressive apps in WatchOS, including support for Sprite Kit and Scene Kit, native event support from the crown and for touch gestures. You can clap, it's good. Audio and video can be embedded right inside your app UI, and you can connect across devices with Game Center and CloudKit. So we're really excited about what new apps now can be created on Watch, and they're going to be amazing. This is a great new opportunity for all of you. And the preview release for you is available today, so you can get going. And the free upgrade is coming to all watch users this fall, and it's going to feel like a whole new watch. And that's just some of what's coming in WatchOS. Thank you very much. So now to give you a look at tvOS, please welcome the one and only Eddie Q.
So let's talk about tvOS and Apple TV. Last fall, we introduced the next generation of Apple TV, and for the first time, developers had a modern platform like iOS to develop for in the living room. And we said the future of TV is apps. And the response to Apple TV has been incredible. Here is what Chris Albrecht, the CEO of Starz, had to say. tvOS has allowed Starz to create an experience on Apple TV unlike anything we've done before, and our subscribers are loving it. Here's what the CEO of Boombit, a very popular iOS game developer, had to say. We easily extended our iOS game experience to the living room, something that is incredibly difficult to do on traditional consoles. Now, our last generation Apple TV had 80 video channels, and thanks to many of you, we now have over 1,300 video channels. And we have over 6,000 native apps in just 7
tvOS
months.
上面已
And
经
I've
有
got some new
1000
apps to tell
多
you
个
about.
频道可以
First,
看，那
Sling,
已经有
which
6000多
offers
个
a great selection of
tvOS
live
上可以
cable
运
channels,
作
is
的
coming to
apps，
Apple TV
成长
today.
其实非常快哦。节目上面也越来
Fox
越
Sports
多
Go.
哦，
I'm a huge sports fan.
现在
4
highlight
sports
一
games
些
all at the same time on
比较
one screen
有
coming
名
this
的，
summer to
就
Apple
是
TV.
他们的大平台商，让大家认识一下。不过
Molotov, a
大家应该
revolutionary new
有在
TV
看的，
service
应
in
该都
France
会
with
看。
over
那有一
100
些
live channels,
台湾、
video
亚
on
洲
demand
地方是
exclusively
比
on
较
iOS
少
and
看
Apple
到的。
TV coming next month.
现在在看直播的朋友，有几位
Great
有
sports games like NBA 2K,
有 Apple
adventure
Watch
games
或
like
者是
Minecraft
Apple
Story
TV
Mode,
的，可以
and Sketch
回复
Party.
一下，我们看一
Use
下
your
有多
iPhone
少人
or
有。
iPad to draw, and then you sit around the TV to guess. It's a lot of fun to do this with your group of friends. Now, we've got great updates to tell you about for tvOS, and let me start with the Apple TV Remote app. Now, Apple TV comes with the incredible Siri Remote. It uses touch for navigation, Siri to tell it what you want to watch, and motion to play games. But a lot of our customers have told us that they would love an app on their iPhone that had all those same capabilities, and so we're making a new version of the Remote app. This is what it looks like. It's got a beautiful now playing screen with playback controls, but most importantly, all the features of the Siri remote. You have touch for navigation, Siri to give it commands, and it uses the accelerometer and gyroscope to play games. And of course, you can enter text with the keyboard. Next, let's talk about Siri. Siri changed the way we interact with our television because now we just tell it what we want to watch. And we're making it even better because now you can search movies by topics. Now, my daughter is actually going to high school this fall, and I remember back when I went to high school, it's been a while, there's some great movies that I'd love to watch with her. And now Siri makes this really easy because I can just say, find high school comedies from the 80s. And sorry, we'll do that one again. Find high school comedies from the 80s. And there are some of my favorites. I actually have watched them all. Let's take a look at Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And with just one tap, we can start watching. Now, Siri actually searches over 650,000 movies and TV shows now. But what about YouTube? Well, that's easy too, because now you just ask Siri, search YouTube for Steph Curry's three-pointers.
Siri 可以直接搜寻 YouTube
Siri
上面
launches
的
YouTube
影
and
片，
shows you the results.
可以直接
But a big
用
part of your
Siri
TV
去搜寻。
experience is live channels. And we've got some great channels on Apple TV like ABC, CBS, FX, and a lot more that give you live channels. But to start watching, you got to find the app, you got to launch it, and then you got to find the channel. Well, we've got a great new feature called Live Tune-In. And all you have to do, watch ESPN2. Taken straight to the action. Go! And this is already working with a lot of great channels, and we're making live tune-in available on both your iPad and Apple TV as well. And
所以以后要抢台
one
的时候
problem
呢
with，this,
可以直接告
let's
诉
be
Siri
honest,
用
when you
讲
go
的
in and you
没
launch
有
a
遥
video
控器，
channel
你
app
也
for
是
the
有
first
机会
time,
可以
you get something like
拔
this.
得，就是你也可以抢回控制
And
权，
you've got to go find
所
a
以以后不一定
browser,
要抢遥控器，
authenticate with a
除
code,
非你把 Siri
and
的
then
嘴巴塞住。
authenticate to your TV provider. Well, we're going to make this change a little bit, but it's worse because you got to do it for each and every app. And now we're going to make it all go away with a feature we call single sign-on.
OK，那以后在这些众多的频道中，你不用再登录每一家
You
登
sign
录
in
不一样
once
的
on
账
your
号，
Apple
现
TV
在
and
只
you
要
get access to
一
all
个
of
账
your
号
network
就可以
apps.
通行
And we make it even
目
better.
前
A
所有
page
的
on
这
the App
些
Store will show you all of the apps that you now
影
have
音的来
access
源
to.
或是
And
频
of
道
course, we're bringing this to iOS as well. Now, in addition to single sign-on, we've got some other great updates. Now, Apple TV looks beautiful, but there are times where you wish it was darker because you're in a home theater or a dark room. And now that's really easy because you can just switch to dark mode. Now, we want to make it even easier for customers to get your apps. And so just like when you download an app on your iPhone, it automatically downloads to your Apple TV, it now automatically downloads to your Apple TV. And this is really great, and I'm going to show you. So I get the Major League Baseball app on my iPhone, you do nothing, and there it is right on your Apple TV.
那在 iPhone 上下
Now,
载
there's
了
never been a better
App
time
以后，
for
如果
all
有
of you to build
Apple
apps for
Watch
the big
OS，
screen.
说
We've
说
got
是
some great new
tvOS
features
版的
for you
话
as well.
那它也会自动下载
First of all,
安装到
Replay
你
Kit,
的
where you can live
Apple TV
broadcast
上
your。gameplay or save the video to share it later. We've got Photo Kit, gives you access to your complete iCloud photo library, all the videos, all the photos. And of course, Home Kit, where you can create apps to control all the devices at home. And that's just some of the many features. We've got things like support for 4 game controllers, multiplayer game sessions, and a lot more. And that is a quick update to the tvOS, a new Apple TV remote app, great Siri enhancements with topic search, YouTube, and live tune-in. Obviously, single sign-on, so now you get access to all your network apps and great tools for developers. And all of you will get a
那一
developer
样，当
preview
然在
today. I can't wait to
WWDC
see all
上
of the apps that
最
you
好
start
的
building.
福利、
And
最
our
大福利就
customers
是
will get it this
开发
fall.
人员
And that
马
is
上就有新版
tvOS.
本可以试。好，那 相对一般的朋友来说，就不用这么急，因为现阶段
Now to talk to you
应
about
该
OS
bug 还
10,
是很多
here
哈，
is
所以
Craig
你
Federici.
如果想尝鲜的可以试试看，如果不想尝鲜、不想尝这些 bug 的话，那就等到秋天。
Good morning. It's great to be back at WWDC
OK，
to
那
talk
接
to
下
you
来
about
是
OS 10.
OS
And of course, no presentation at WWDC about OS 10 would be complete without some kind of naming controversy. Now, I'm not talking about some allegedly baked members of our marketing team going on some kind of vision quest around California looking for a special name. I'm actually talking about the name OS 10 itself. You know, OS 10 has been with us as a name for over 15 years. And it
OS 10 已
served
经
us so
15
well.
年哈，超过
But
15
as we
年。
look at it alongside its
看起来
younger brethren,
很明显的，它
something
跟人家
sticks out.
每一个都不一
We
样，
realize
所以
that there's a
传言
name
可
that
能
would be
成
so
真
much
吗？我们来
clearer
看看，
and so much more
传言是
elegant.
变成
And so
Mac OS。
we're making it so. The name of the world's most advanced desktop operating system is now Mac OS.
Mac OS， 所以哦，传言成真，猜到了，就是改名叫做 Mac OS， 但是 Mac 是小写的。
Now, of course, each version of macOS does have a special name after a place that's especially important to us here in California. And this year's macOS is no different. But the choice this time was obvious. Our latest, newest OS 10 is macOS Sierra. Now, Sierra is a fantastic new release with a big focus on continuity, the iCloud, and the fundamentals of the Mac experience. I want to start with continuity, because continuity is like magic. Your devices are able to sense themselves around you and use secure peer-to-peer wireless protocols to enable you to move from one task to another across your devices just seamlessly. Well, we wanted to take on this year one task that we all do many times a day, every time we start using our Macs. And that feature is called Auto Unlock. So today, when you first approach your Mac to use it, the experience is something like this. You open it up, you're confronted with a password field, and then you type, and then maybe mistype, and then retype your password,
每次开
and
启
then
的
you're
时
in and
候，一
using
般
your
来说
Mac.
都要打
But you know, for
密
many of us, we
码。
already have a device securely authenticated to our wrists that already knows who we are and could tell our Mac. And so then, when we opened our Mac, it could be a little bit more like this. And we're in. It's that simple.
如果你的手上哈周边有 Apple 装置的话，那
And we
其
made
实
this really secure
它会自
using
动
time of
就可以
flight
帮自动
network
帮
to
你
make
解
sure
锁，它
it's
知道你在
you
附近，
who's
它就可
that
以帮你
close
解
to the
锁。
machine who's
这
unlocked it. So
个
it's really
其
great.
实在
Now, the
Android
next
Wear
continuity
哦
feature
就是 Android 手表
in
上其实
macOS
有类似的
Sierra
设计，手表手机可以解锁
universal，
但是
clipboard
其实还是有一些风险哈。如果你刚好在旁边，
Wow, gas.
哦，那旁边有人在偷看你的手机，
But I
趁你
know
不注意的时候，
copy and paste is so
这时候就被
fundamental to the way
发
that we
现。
use our Macs for so many years now. But what if when you were on even your iPhone and you found some text and you just went to copy it, that when you then went to your Mac, well, you could just paste it right in. And now you can, with images,
可以
video,
剪贴不
everything,
能在 iPhone 复
completely
制的
automatic.
一段文字，那可以直接它会自己帮你
Now I'd
直
like
接
to move
同
on to
步到
iCloud, and
你的
specifically
Mac
iCloud
OS
Drive.
的
Now,
你的
today
Mac
with
上，
iCloud
你就可以
Drive,
直
you
接
can
贴
put
上，你就不用再
into your iCloud
email
Drive
啊
that you
或者其
explicitly
他
want to
方
make
式
available to
传
you
过来，很麻烦。
across your other systems, as well as your iOS devices. And customers have done quite a bit of this. There are actually 10 billion customer documents in iCloud Drive today. But we want to take this a step further. We want all of your documents and your desktop accessible to you everywhere, so that when you're on one Mac, maybe you're putting things in your normal documents folder, well, of course, those should be available to you on your other Macs. But you know, for 30 years now, we've all learned to do the work, the things that we're working on right now. Well, where do we put those? So often it's on our desktop. So let's make our desktop available on our other Macs as well, and have those files be available to us on the go on our iPhones. Now you can. Next up, optimized storage. You know, we love using our Macs, and we fill them with so much stuff, but you can end up with a situation like this. And, you know, what do you do about it? Well, it turns out we're going to give you a solution, and it works in 2 ways. First, it helps you make room for the files that your new files by keeping your older ones
新的储
up
存
in the
机制呢，
cloud.
它
So whether it's your
当
full
你的空间
resolution
不够的时候
photos
呢
when your others are in
它会
iCloud
把你的
Drive,
照
or
片
movies that
啊
you've、
档
already
案
watched
啊、
in
email 的
iTunes
附
or
件
even
档
those
啊
old mail
帮你
attachments.
存到云端
We
上
can
去。
clear off that space
那
locally,
用
make
云
those
端的
things
空间
available
呢
to you
来
on
当
demand.
做你的硬碟
But
空
we
间
also want to make，it
那
easy
让
for
你的
you
硬
to
碟
get
上面
rid of
存的是
files
最新的
you'll
资料，
never use
所
again
以
automatically. Things like your
你可以
Safari web
就比较不用
cache,
担
maybe
心
the trash
空
that you
间
keep
硬碟
forgetting
空
to
间不
empty
够。
and redundant data that's stored by mail. Well, we can get rid of all of that as well. And we provide a really simple user interface to help you do it. Now, as a test, we took a system that was nearly full. It had about, let's say, 20 gigs free, and we put it through the paces. Now, it had a lot of photos and a lot of documents. It had movies that were already watched, mail with lots of attachment, apps, system files, and so forth. And we turned on all the switches for optimized storage, and we went from 20 gigs free to 150 gigs free. So we think this is going to make a big difference for all of you.
OK， 那每个人有250G 的
Next
空间，免费的空间可以使用。
So
这个好佛，
we
我们
all
到时候
love
再来
using
看看
Apple Pay
这个
in stores,
这个
with
它有没有什么
phones
条件限制
and
哈
our,？
那这不然
Apple Watch,
就等于说你
cash
免费多了
register, and shop
250的线上空间
inside
可以
apps
用
on our，
其实这个其
iOS
实非常方便。
So of course we
那
wanted
在
to bring
Apple
this
Pay 这边我们再
experience
继续来看一
to
下
the。Mac. We thought long and hard about exactly the right way to do it, and I think we've nailed it. I think we might have an accessory business with some carrying straps. It could be very helpful. You know, this is not how people are going to shop on their Macs, right? We shop online, on the web, in Safari. And so what are we doing? We're bringing Apple Pay to the web.
OK，Apple Pay on the web 就是在网络上
So now, when
站
you're
上可以
shopping
直接使
online,
用。我们来看一下
you'll
它
have a
怎么用。
Pay with Apple Pay button available to you. When you
OK，
click it,
可以在网上
the
直
sheet comes
接
down to actually prompt you
多了一
to
按钮叫做
securely
Buy
authenticate your
with
purchase
Apple Pay，
using
就是用 Apple Pay
continuity right
购
on your iPhone with Touch ID.
那你 iPhone 呢？如果已经可以用 Apple Pay 的话，你就会跳出来
And of
这样
course,
的一个
this works
讯息，你就可以
with
直
your
接
Apple Watch as well,
付
so you
款
can authenticate with just a
直接
tap
付款
on your
就
wrist.
是网站上面直接
Already
就
many,
可以
many
跟你
merchants
的
have signed up to
iPhone
bring
去整
their
合。
web storefronts to
这个
support
其
Apple
实
Pay
非
on
常
the
方
web.
便如果
And Apple Pay
你
is
在网络上
expanding
购物的话
hugely
大家要小心了，
geographically.
因
It's
为
now
呢
available in the
手
United
滑
States, the
最过
UK, Canada,
不只用你的
Australia,
滑鼠
China,
滑。
and Singapore. And in the next few months, it's
看看有
coming
没有
to
台湾
Switzerland, France,
OK，6
and Hong Kong.
7个
Now, next, I want to move to part of the Mac experience,
还没有台湾
and that's tabs. You know, many of
台湾
us
可能要在
love
下次
using
了
tabs to take a mess of windows that we have in Safari and get them neatly organized and tab set. Well, now we want to bring that to all of your multi-windowed apps. So maybe you have multiple windows open in Maps. Well, you could organize those in tabs. But because it's built into the system, you can do that for third-party apps as well. In fact, we've implemented it in a way that the apps you already have installed can support this out of the box without any modification. So tabs everywhere. So next, picture-in-picture. We love watching video on the web, but sometimes we like to keep track of a video while we're doing other work. Well, now you can. You can push the picture-in-picture button. Your video goes into a nice little pip. You can move it around the screen, and it works great
OK，
in
如果
full
你在看影
screen
片的
as
话，
well.
这个有点类似我们在 YouTube App 里面你可以先把画面和影片呢缩到画面的右下角，那你可以去
So
看
these
其
are
他 App 的
7
同时呢，
great
还
features
可以继
in
续播放
macOS
这个影
Sierra.
片。
But there is one more.
One more，
And this year, I'd like to take the unusual step
我看一下这
of
是
letting
什么
this
呢？
feature introduce itself.
Hi, it's me. It sure is great to be on the Mac. How about a demo?
That's right. Siri is coming to the Mac.
OK，Siri 终于，Mac 上终于有
And it looks
Siri，
like
所以
Siri would like to give a
以后可以
demo,
看
so
到
let's get
你
to
会
it.
用在 Mac 上用 Siri 吗？
So we
这
have
个其实我们可以到时候看一下
macOS Sierra
实际上
right
多少
here.
因为对着
And
电
the
脑
first
讲
thing
话
you'll notice is right
其
here
实
on the dock,
还蛮突
we
兀
have
的。
access to Siri. So I can ask Siri a question. Let's say, how do you like being on a Mac?
pretty awesome. Lots of space, aluminum unibody walls, and no complaint about the lack of windows.
So it's the same Siri that we know and love, but now on the Mac it can do so much more. Things like sophisticated queries for files, like show the files I worked on last week about the offsite.
Have I ever told you your filing is so styling?
So we have
还有
my
其
search
实
results, but what's
还有
really
更多的
incredible is I
方
can
式，甚至你
refine
可以
that sophisticated
请
query
Siri 帮你找你
with
的
a
档案。
follow-on.
所以如果
Like
你忘记档案放在
just
哪
the
里的
ones
话，可以
Ken
直接
sent me that I tagged
透过
with
Siri 的方式
draft.
帮你找，可以告诉他时间。
For your filing pleasure.
So you see, I have just the files I'm looking for right there. But what's great is this is a useful result that I may want to use throughout the day as I work. So I can actually click on this plus button and pin it right here into my notification center. And this, yeah, it's really great. And this works for lots of your Siri results. So I'm going to actually open this team offsite presentation, just working on a little project here. I'll take this one full screen. We see we're planning an offsite, and there are a bunch of activities. But while I'm working in full screen, Siri's there for me and helps me multitask. So I can do things like play my Power Ballads playlist. Oh yeah. So Siri to the rescue with some awesome tunes. I could let this play all day, but I think we'll get on with the demo. So I can actually use my Siri results here to help me complete this presentation. So I have an image result here for slacklining. Let me just click in my Siri result, drag it right into my presentation. And I can also have Siri search the web for me. So let's do search the web for pictures of falconry.
Here are some images of falconry I found on the web.
Okay, that looks like some good fun. So I can actually take the results right out of Siri and drag them into my document. It's pretty epic. But you know, I'd like to actually replace this map with one that I've been working on here on my iPad. So my iPad's so great because I can actually use my Apple Pencil to do some drawing. So let's see, I'm going to take my Apple Pencil here and I'm going to draw a path. Maybe we'll take a hike like this, maybe out over here, just like that. Okay, that looks like just the drawing I want. But of course, I'd like to now get it on my Mac. So how do I do that? Well, why don't I just copy it? But I'm not just copying it to my iPad, because when I return to my Mac, I can paste it just like I would anything else, actually wirelessly transfers it automatically into my document. So now that I look at this trip, I realize that it's a horrible idea. So I can actually use Siri to message my friend, tell Ken, maybe we should just see a movie.
Here's your message. Ready to send it?
You bet.
It's sent.
So I can use Siri, of course, to do messaging at any time, and it can also help me find that movie. What new movies are playing this Friday?
I found 8 movies playing on Friday.
All right, so Siri's given me some results, and Finding Dory looks pretty good, so let's open that up. Now I can go play the trailer. But I can also drop right here into Picture-in-Picture. And you see in Picture-in-Picture, I can actually resize if I want. I can reposition the pip window to any corner. And, of course, it works great in full screen, right on top of my other content. So this movie looks pretty good, so I think I'll go back into the browser. And let's actually buy some tickets. So I see there's a showing here at 7:15. I'll select that. Select the amount. Let's go with 10 of us. And here you see a Buy with Apple Pay button. So watch what happens when I click Buy with Apple Pay. I'm prompted to confirm here on my iPhone. I just use Touch ID with my fingerprint, and I can securely authenticate my transaction just like that. And that's a quick look at macOS Sierra. So Sierra, some great features for continuity, the cloud, Apple Pay, user experience, and of course Siri. And there's much more that you'll be hearing about later today. Now, Sierra is available to you developers in developer preview form today, and we're doing a public beta in July. You can sign up now at beta.apple.com, and it'll be available to everyone else in the fall across all of these systems. That is your update on macOS.
那秋天一样是秋天，可以下载到新的macOS。
Next, let's turn to iOS. So iOS, we're
在
hitting a big
iOS 的部分呢，我
milestone
们来看一
because
下有什
now
么新的网
pleased to
页。
introduce
没错
iOS 10.
果然是 iOS 10。
Now, iOS 10 is a huge release for developers, and it is the biggest iOS release ever for our users. Now, there are 10 big features I want to talk about today, and let's start off with number 1, that's user experience. Now, in iOS 10, we've redesigned the experience of the lock screen with rich notifications that give you quick
iOS 10
interaction with apps through the
重新
expanded
设计了
use of
锁定
3D
画面。
touch. But rather than
然
just
后
talk
通
about
知的
it,
样式呢，可能
how about I
会有
just show
更
it to you
更丰
right
富
now?
的
Let's
内
do a
容
demo.
形式。我们来看一下，这个可能跟大家相
Now,
关度就
one
非
thing
常
a
高，
lot
我
of
们
us
来
have
仔
noticed
细看
now
看
that。we have our iPhone 6S's with the incredibly fast Touch ID sensor is that we can just blow past our notifications on our lock screen. We never even get to see them. And so in iOS 10, we have a great solution. It's called Raise to Wake, and it lets you see what's on your lock screen without ever touching a button. Let me show it to you now. I just raise my wrist, and my phone wakes up just like that.
拿起来，当你通知的时
Now,
候
the first thing
拿
you'll
起来
notice
画面就
is
自己
these
亮了，
beautiful
不需要再按任
notifications
何的按钮。
are no longer causing us to darken
那这
the,
个
your
样式大家可
wallpaper,
以
so
看
you
一
can
下，
look
也
at
跟
that,
以前
but
的
what's
好像有
more
些不
important
一
is
样。
they're really
这个
interactive
比
through
较
3D touch.
有点像
So for instance,
刚刚我们
with
在
this calendar
Apple Watch 上
notification,
看到的
I can just
这个界面。
3D touch on it.
OK， 我
I
们
can
可以
jump
通
right
过
in and get all
3D
this rich
3D
detail
Touch 的方式去
about
打
this
开它，去
invitation.
快
I see
速
my
检视
calendar,
它。
and I can accept it
那还可以做一
right
些
here.
简单
Now,
的回
this
复
is
动作。
especially great with messages. Let's 3D touch into that one. And here you see,
这
I
个
see
不
the
晓得是
message
不是
that
在
was
解
sent to
锁
me.
的情况
I
下
can
进行。
respond right here, the keyboard. But what's great is I can stay in the conversation right here on the lock screen and even get rich responses like
一样，那
images
在
right
这
in
个锁
line.
定画面就可以做
And
一
this
些
works really well with
讯息
third
回
party
复的
apps
动
as
作。
well. So for instance, if I get a notification from Uber, I can just press in and I get this completely interactive and animated
一样
live
可以
status
在上面可以
update
就可以
on my
叫 Uber，
car.
那你可以在上面
as it comes
看
in.
到Uber 现
It's
在
really great.
车子的所在位置。
Now, of course, as always, you can get your notifications right here from the top of the screen. But now, with 3D Touch, if you want to clear them, you can just press in and clear them all with a tab. It's really great.
那这个地方可以是用透过 3D Touch、3D
Now,
Touch 的
control
方式
center is
去
available from the
选
bottom
那
of
个
the
按
screen
钮，
as
我
well.
们可
We
以
can
直接把它
just
清
swipe
掉。
up from the bottom. You see, it's beautifully
控制中
redesigned.
心
Gives me
也做
great
了一些
access
改
to all my
版，
controls. But if I swipe over, you
把
see
这
we have
个
a
夜间
special
模式
area
的按
for
钮
our
很明
music
显的
with
变
nice
大。
big
哦
controls,
那
beautiful
音乐
album
播放
art
的
right
部
there.
分，可以看到它下面现在其实有2个页签哦。
Now,
不像
we
目
made it
前的
easier
iOS
than
9 的
ever
会
to get at your
全部
camera
塞
from
在
the
一起，
lock
其实
screen.
有时候
So
不
I
好
can
找
just，
尤其
slide
是那个
over
夜
from
间
the
模
right,
式。
and
没有
there's
注
my
意到，可
camera.
能你永
And
远
it's
没有发
easy
现
to take a
我那
picture
边
of
有
my
一个
demo notes.
夜间模式
Right
的
there
开心钮在那里。
That's good. And we've made it easier than ever to get at your widgets. Just slide over the other way. You can see I
OK，
have my
那这个
weather,
呢，
I have
在
my
锁定上
calendar,
面，锁定
I
画面
get
上
my
也可以
news,
放
top
一些
stories.
widget。
And you notice these
你可以
widgets have the
看一些
ability
功
for me
能
to。get more information. So I can do show more and see the rest of my day, you'd like to think. And I can
资
even
讯
get more
的
information right here
整合
from
上呢就
apps
更
on
完
my
整了
home
一点
screen.
哈。
So for instance, it looks like I have a decent number of unread email messages. And now, if I 3D touch there, I can see who it is I've been ignoring this whole time, my VIPs. Now, if I swipe over here, I can also get great information on activity without even launching the app. I just 3D touch in and get a look at my rings. And this can work really well with third-party apps as well. So I'm going to jump into ESPN, can see information about my latest team. And if I want that widget available to me at all times on my Today view, I can just add that widget like that. And I go over to my Today view, and there it is. And I can get that show more information. And you see I get a graphical update on the highlights from the last game.
这个
And if
还
I
可以看
tap
一下
in,
NBA 球员哦，他的投球的位置跟他射篮的这个时机点回放，可以甚至直接看影片，这个球员资料，真的很酷。
oh yeah. So that is a quick look at the new lock screen and home screen experience in iOS 10. You have a beautiful new control center, interactive notifications, and great ways to use your widgets. It's great on the iPhone and the iPad as well. Next, number 2, Siri. Huge part of the user experience
Siri
in
再来看一
iOS.
下 iOS
Now,
上面的
Siri
Siri 呢有
services
什么
over
改
2
变？
billion requests a week from customers. And there's so many things that you can ask Siri. But now in iOS 10, Siri's going to be able to do so much more because we're opening up Siri to developers.
没错，这是又跟网络上看到的这些讯息一样。Siri 呢已经正式开放给开发人员来
Now you'll be able to ask
使用
Siri
啦。
things like, send a WeChat to Nancy saying I'll be 5 minutes late. And Siri can summon up the WeChat UI right inside of the
通过
Siri
Siri
environment.
来控制
Now, of course,
WeChat 去告
Siri,
诉
because
你
it
朋友
understands
你
the
现在
domains, things
要
like
做些什么
messaging,
事情，
allows you
传
to
一
say
些讯
things
息
in
给
so
他。
many different ways. I could have said, WeChat Nancy that I'll be 5 minutes late, or I need to send a message to Nancy via WeChat saying I'll be 5 minutes late. And I could do that in all
可以
sorts
做
of different
更多互动
languages.
哈。一旦
But
这
because
些
now in iOS
Siri 功能
10,
开
we have
放
an
到
intense
每一个
API
不同的
that
App 上
allows
的时
Siri
候，
to
大家
take
可以
on
想象一下
that
哈，
part
就
of the
是
work
基本上
and
你
lets
想
the
要，比如说你
extension
可以
do what it does
到
best, like
买
messaging.
东西的 App
And
上
so now
去
we
告诉他，比
support
如说
messaging
谁谁谁
with apps like
我要一个
Slack and
纯吃
WhatsApp
茶，
and of course
我要
WeChat.
一瓶养乐多。
You can do
想
things
要
like
我想
ride
要
booking
叫一
in
个
Siri,
必
with
胜客
services
披
like
萨，
Uber,
你可以用语音的方式去控
Lyft,
制。
and Didi in China. Photo search in apps like IM, Shutterfly, and Pinterest. And you can start,
这
pause
现
and
在
stop your
继续再
workouts.
举例哈，一些更
In
多
apps
的
like
应用
Map My Run,
刚刚可以找照
Runtastic,
片
and
啊，找食
Runkeeper.
谱啊，
And
现在
even
运
do
动啊，
payments to
或
send
者是
money
支
to
付，
friends with
支
things
付
like
也
Number
可以。
26, Square Cash, and Alipay in China. And do VoIP calling through apps like Cisco
可以
Spark,
做
Vonage,
付
and
支
Skype.
付以外，还可以做
And it works great in the
VoIP
car
啊，
as
网络
well,
电
because
话
with。CarPlay, you can now safely send your messages as well as make VoIP calls all inside the CarPlay environment with your favorite apps. And that's a quick update on Siri.
Siri 这次的改变其实还蛮实用的啊，实用度其实蛮高的哈。
Number 3, QuickType. And the big news this year
QuickType.
is we're bringing
Okay,
Siri
Siri
intelligence to the
intelligence.
keyboard. So today, QuickType is able to use context to help predict what words you might type next. Well, now we're using deep learning and a technique specifically called LSTMs to enable much more intelligence in longer context, so we can tell the difference between the Orioles are playing in the playoffs and the children are playing in the park
Apple 透
automatically.
过
And Siri can help you do responses more intelligently than ever. So you might get asked, where are you? Well, Siri can suggest right there on the suggestion bar that you supply your current location. Tap it, and you can get your location with a map right into your transcript. And people might ask you about contact information for a friend. Well, Siri can automatically offer up the most relevant contacts. Now, right locally on your device, Siri has information about what you've been doing, and so it can extract information from a message that maybe says, oh, you're talking about dim sum at 11 a.m. on Sunday. Well, when you go to automatically create a calendar event, Siri can pre-fill it for you with things like, oh, that must be brunch. Fill out the location, pick the time. It's really smart. And Siri does so much more. Can check your
那个
calendar
Siri 可以根
availability
据
for
你
you
在
automatically.
比如说在
Help
对
you
话的时候，
paste
这
a
些对话
recent
讯息，
address
那它
automatically
可以
fill it in
直接把
based
这
on
个讯息
addresses
当
you were
做
browsing
你输入
in
在
other
Siri
apps.
的
It can help
指
you
令，
look up
或是告诉
terms
他
it
要做的事，
recognizes,
他帮你
things like
可以
movies
快速
and
去帮你找这些
restaurants.
资
With
料
one
还有
tap,
回
you
复
can。get more information.
那这
And
个呢，
Siri
可
now,
能会有一些
the
可能
QuickType
会有人
keyboard
担心
supports
各自的问题，不过
multilingual typing.
到时候再
So
看一
if
下
you
哈，
like
这个功能
typing
它实际
alternating
上
maybe between
使用的
English
状
and
况是
Spanish or
怎么样哈
Italian,
它可以告诉
you
你
don't have to switch
一些
keyboards.
比如说位置啊、
QuickType
联络
will
人资
follow you
料啊、
automatically.
排程啊，还有一些你最近去的
So
地
that's
址等等
QuickType.
哈。
Next, number 4 is photos. Now, we love capturing so much of our lives on our cameras, on our iPhones. They're so great. And with iCloud Photo Library, we have those photos with us across all of our devices. Well, we want to give you easier ways, of course, to find and experience the photos that you've taken. And one of those is with places. So now we let you see all of your photos on a map. It's a great way to relive a trip, for instance. But the big news in photos this year is advanced computer vision.
We're applying advanced deep learning techniques to bring facial recognition
在
to the iPhone,
Photos 里
and
面
it's
它
all
会
done
帮
locally
你
on device, taking
去
advantage
做
of the
人脸
power of the
辨识，
advanced silicon
你可以
in
直
all
接
of
在
our
上面，
iOS
它会帮你
devices.
按照
Get
不同的
all
人
of your
啊，
most important
照片里面
people
出现哪些
automatically built
人呢？
people
然后
albums
帮
for
你
you
归类起来。那这个
automatically
其实跟
and all done with
Google
your
相簿
privacy
上的功能
protected.
其实
Now we're
是
applying
很
the
接近
same
啊。
kind
Google
of
相簿其
technology
实
with
大家可以
deep
看，
learning
把它打开
to
Google
object
相簿，
and
其实
scene
它里面有一个
recognition
人
as
脸
well.
辨识的
In
功能
fact,。we do 11 billion computations per photo to be able to detect things like there's a horse, there's water, there's a
这
mountain,
个比较
and
特
with
别的
this
是
you
有
can
这
do
个
really
物体
powerful
物件的
searching
辨识。
on your device. But you know, sometimes the magic and experience in your photos isn't just about finding a photo that you know you're looking for. It's about being reminded serendipitously of a memory that would be so special. And so now we're using advanced artificial intelligence to analyze across your entire photo library, all done locally on device, to cluster together photos and relate them based on location, the people involved, the scenes, and out of this be able to surface memories that would be most relevant to you at any given moment. We can bring forward things like trips. We can spot trips that might be important to you. We can figure out that you might want to see photos of a highlight reel of the last weekend or the last year and offer those to you at just the right time. We can bring forward memories of people that are special to you or groups of people and topics. Special photos you took, for instance, when you're on the water, at the beach, at the mountains. These can make wonderful memories to survey over time. But most important, we pull these together into an intuitive user interface that makes these so engaging. And I'd like to show you that experience now. So let's take a look at photos. So we see there's a photo album here of a family, but what you'll notice at the bottom is this new tab called Memories. Let's take a look. So we can see here there are a number of memories that have been offered up into this memories feed. And at the top, there's a vacation that the system has spotted where the family took a trip to Tahoe City. Let's dive in and take a look at a memory. Now you see there's actually a movie up at the top. We'll talk more about that later. And down below, there's this beautiful layout of highlights of the photos. Now I can tap Show All and actually see a grid of every photo that was taken, but you can see how the summary intelligently draws out the most special photos into these highlights that are really great to browse. Now if we go further down, we see that it's actually pulled out a set of people that are in the photo. The family, grandma and grandpa and the uncle, and a map of the location where all of those photos were taken. And down here at the bottom, we have related other memories I might want to see related to this one. And it's really smart. So you see that the Santa Cruz and 4th of July memories, well, Grandma and Grandpa were both on the trip in Tahoe City, and in these, so those are offered up as related. And this Tahoe City trip was an outdoor vacation, so it offered up another one like Alaska. And you can see there's another time the family was also at Tahoe City, but this time in the winter. Now I'm going to jump into that related memory. And you see once again, we have photos and videos at the bottom, but I want to highlight the movie up here at the top. You know, we all take so many pictures and movies, and we never go back to actually assemble them into something we want to watch. But now our iPhone can do that for us automatically. Let's see what the iPhone has created for this memory.
使用 iPhone 的朋友其实没关系啊，因为这个毕竟也是一个方便的功能，你不用再去找其他的 App 来安装。方便使用最大。
So isn't that great? You know, the advanced computer vision of the Photos app is now doing analysis of just the right parts of the video to include, the right photos, and it's editing them together with the right mood and with the right music. Now, when you have a memory like this, you often want to share it. And sometimes you might want to make it a little shorter, say, for sharing. So I can just use the slider at the bottom and say I'd like it to be shorter. And maybe I want to change the mood a little bit. You notice there's a mood slider just up above there, and that was a pretty great snowball fight. So I'll pick Epic. And based on these changes, it's going to completely re-edit the movie to new music. Let's take a look.
那个音乐。
That's pretty epic. And that's a quick look at memories in
看起来
iOS
应该
10.
是
It's really
音乐可以选
fantastic
择
on
但
your
是照片
iPhone,
的话
and it's great on your
顶就是一
iPad
些
as well.
转场的特
And
效，
Mac gets
会有一些
many
切
of
换
these
效
new
果，但是它
features
不会
as
自动换
well.
照片
The。great new face recognition engine, scene and object recognition search, and the ability to browse photo and video galleries of your memories.
好，所以在期待有没有什么硬体可以出来呢？但是不过其实现在目前看到的这些软体功能其实还蛮实用的，虽然说没有很多很惊艳的功能，但是其实其实都还是一些算是生活上常常会用到的功能，所以还是不错啦。大家可以期待一下 iOS 10。第5又换人了，我们来看一下这个是不是有什么新的梗呢？
I love the new photos. Can't wait to do it. So let's get started with maps. Now, last year, we introduced Nearby, a great way to find places and transit with an incredible amount of detail, including all the entrances and exits from every station. But for iOS 10, we've got an all-new design for maps. It starts with making it easy to access controls and details on locations. And we're making maps do more for you in advance. It's more proactive. So you slide up from the bottom and you can see suggestions. Maps knows that usually at this time I usually go to work. Or it can look at a calendar event and find a location. It also gives you convenient ways to filter down on the places you might want to go. For example, let's take a look at restaurants nearby. But we're in San
这个
Francisco,
上面
I
有
feel
内
like
建了更
seafood.
多
So I can slide
我
across
们
the
叫
bottom.
PY 景点资料，
And
包
now
括
I
这
can
些
see all
餐
the
厅
seafood
景
restaurants
点
right in San
等等
Francisco.
的，那可以在生活上的使用上会比较方便一点。
Now we're
目
applying
前
all
不
of these
晓
new
得多少人
designs
有
to
在用
navigation as well. So you get
Apple
more
iPhone 里
information,
面内建
it
的
makes
这个
it
地图，
easier to
好
follow
手
and
自己
control,
都是用
and we even include
还是
traffic
用
on
Google Map
route.
比较多，因为其实资讯上跟
Now when
交
you're
通完
driving,
整
it'll
度上会
automatically zoom
比
in,
较完
and as you
整
get。to a long straightaway, it'll automatically zoom back out.
Apple iOS 里面的地
And
图
you can even
目
pan
前
and
在台湾
zoom
来
way
说其实
further
还没有
ahead to
那
see
么
what the
方
traffic
便哈
conditions。are. Now we give you quick controls to let you see route details. So now you can even look and see on your route where
那
food
这个
or
功能
gas
其实还不
stations
错
are,
哈，这
and
可以帮
maps
你
will
找
tell
你
you how
在
much
你
longer
的
it'll take if
导
you go
航
to
的
any
路
one
途
of
上
those.
有什么，比如说你想要找路途上有的加油站哦，那这个其实比较方便
And
啊，
of
要不
course,
然
we're
其实
making this
以一
available
般
on
的导航来说，
CarPlay.
大部分都还
And
要
if
离
there's a
开
lot of traffic
离
ahead,
开
Maps
导
will
航模式，
proactively give you
然后去
alternate
找
routes
这个
and
加油
tell you
站
how
或者
much
你要的
time
景
it'll
点
save.
哦。那比较麻烦的是，你
And
通
we're
常找
making
完以
it
后，你还要
safer
再
to
重新
follow
设定一下目
directions
的
while
地
keeping
导
your
航，
eyes on the
比较麻
road.
烦。那
Because now you can get turn by turn
iOS 10
right
这
in
个
the
功能
instrument
是蛮
cluster
实
of your
用的哈
car.，
这个有获人性哈。可能在车
Now
上
we
可以看
think you're
到
going to love
导
these
航的路
updates,
径。
but there's more because we are opening maps up to developers.
OK， 那 Maps 部分也一样，开放给开发人员
Now with
来
map extensions, you can
使
enable
用
all
哈，
new
可以
capabilities
来
in
扩充
maps.
使用。
For example, you can make a reservation using
可以
a popular app
做
like OpenTable.
在
You
餐厅
pick the
在
number of
Map 上
people,
就可以
the
直接
time,
做
right inside of maps.
餐
And
厅的预
because
约。
these are extensions, they're open to all developers around the world, like Ding An Ping in China, and Zomato around many countries around the world.
那
And
在
when you're ready to
中
leave,
国目前
you
看
tap
起来
on
有开放
directions,
哈。
and now
那
you're
你
offered
除
the
了
new
可以预
option to
定
book a
饭
ride.
店以外呢
And with app
预定餐
extensions
厅以外
like
呢，那你可以
Uber, you can pick
预
any kind
约
of car,
脚踏车
pay for it with Apple
Uber，
Pay,
那也
and
可
see
以
the
付
status.
款哈，也可
So
以付
again, I
款
can
付款
find a
Apple
restaurant,
Pay 付款，那应
I
该
can
是
book a
预定
reservation,
以后的
I
事
can
情。
request a car, I can pay for it, and I can see when it's going to
那
arrive,
所以
all without
你可以
leaving
在 Map
Maps.
上面，你可以做完3个 App 啊，你可以找地图，你可以看地图，你可以找景点，你可以
And
预
these
约，
extensions
你
are
可以
open
付
to
款
all
那都在
developers.
Maps 上
Here's
面
the
可以把它
Chinese
一起
ride
做完，
service
就不
app
用
Didi.
在
That
不
is
同
Maps.
的 App 之间切换，那这个很方便，这个很方便。
Number 6, music.
好
So
的 Apple
Apple
Music
Music lets you play from millions of songs, thousands of playlists curated by our team of experts, and it's been an incredible year. We now have over 15 million paid subscribers. This is the fastest music service ever in its first year. And we've learned a lot along the way, and so today we've got an all-new Apple Music redesigned from the ground up.
Apple Music 它整个全新的设计。
We want to give greater clarity and simplicity to every aspect of Apple Music. Here's what it looks like. It has a beautiful,
大家都成了夜猫族
it has
或
a
者夜猫
beautiful
族
new
的
design
成就。
language that allows the music
好，那我
to
们
be
看
the
一下
hero.
Apple
Nothing
Music
shows this
新的
more
界面
than now
呢
playing.
看起来目前几个界
Now, the
面
new structure makes it
看起
clear
来
where you
Apple
are
的
and
设
also
计
emphasizes
新
the
的设
features
计
that
概
you
念
use
应
every
该
day.
已经很
And
明
all of
确
these
哈。
changes come
那
together to create a
一
new
样
music app that's
就
both
是
more
在
intuitive
App 里面
and
开始
familiar.
导入有一个
And now,
层
to
叠
give you
的
a
这个
demo
概
of
念
it,。I'd like to
那
invite
原
up
本黑
both
色
Gus and
因为很
John.
多 App 都是黑色为底的，那现在开始以白色为底，那开始会导入一些圆角的元素在里面，所以看起来 Apple 在UI 就使用者界面的部分有做了一些定义上的改变。
Now, lots of people listen to their music from their library. So now, when we open up the music apps, you'll see that the first tab is the library. People also have huge
这个其
music
实仔细
libraries.
看一下，
So
有
now
点
it's easier
像
to
是
navigate with simple sections
微
like
软多年
playlists,
前的那个
artists, albums, songs,
的
and now
这
a
还有
new
现在
section
的
called downloading music.
Windows Phone
When I
的
tap onto downloading
设计，
music, you'll see that this is
其
where
实有
all
点
of
乍
the
看，
music which is on
就
my
是
iPhone
看起来有
sits.
点这个有
Now,
点神似
I。call myself a super execumommy because I'm flying all over the place, and now it really makes it easy for me to see all the music that's on my iPhone. There's also the recently added section, and this includes the albums, songs, and playlists that I've recently added to my library. You'll see that there's tons of awesome music here, like this classic, the Sugar Hill Gang, and it kind of feels appropriate to get this party started with a little bit of Rapper's Delight, right? Come on, let's listen to something. Come on, y'all. Now you recognize this beat, right? Come on, we're gonna make this whole auditorium rock. Come on, on 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, rock. Yes, there you go. All right, now we're gonna multitask, okay? Look at the bottom of the screen. You see the artwork, the title, and controls so that you can skip. And when we open it, you'll see that there is beautiful detail on the artwork, the controls, and now there are lyrics. So come on, we're gonna rap. Let's go.
OK，Apple Pay 现在上不是 Apple Pay 是 Apple Music 上现在也有歌词可以看了，不过不会同步，所以 KKBox 还是略胜一筹。
Okay, because some of you guys are not rapping to the beat, okay? But you'll have plenty of time on your own to study the lyrics, okay? All right, let's go to the next tab. For You. I love For You. It's my favorite part of Apple Music. And you know why? Because it's all about me. Yes, that's correct. So now you'll see that at the top of For You, there's a discovery mix. Now this contains the songs that have been picked just for me, so I can discover new artists and new music. There's also the recently played, like we just listened to the Sugar Hill Gang, so it's right there, I can navigate easily to it. And daily curated playlists. Now it's Monday. I usually like to strut into the office on a Monday, and look at the playlist today. It's called the Fashion Runway Strut. That's all about me, it's right here, okay? Now, this is not a typical Monday, but I still want to know what I'd be strutting to, so let's listen. What do we got?
Louie, come do your part.
Get it, girl. Yeah, that's right. She said, get it, girl, okay? Now listen, I could be getting it, all right? I could get my strut on up and down the stage. This is too early for that. I don't want to hurt you guys, okay? So we're gonna pause this, okay? All right. All right, but we are gonna get back to this, okay? So the rest of For You, as you'll see, has awesome music that again is for my taste. I've got playlists here, albums, and there's even Connect. Now, the artists that I'm following have posted art and music and videos and all kinds of awesome stuff for me to connect to. Browse. This tab is for all of us, okay? The Apple Music editors have taken so much time, listened tons of music to tell us what is the most recent and most important. Like you'll see right now, the hot album, Nick Jonas, all right? Y'all pay attention. Now we've also got these easy navigation down here with new music, curated playlists, and even top charts. So when we tap on top charts, we can see who's, look at that, it's Drake. I mean, Drake has been at the top of the chart for a little bit, okay? But you can see who else is on there. Now, let's go to radio. Radio is live in almost 100 countries. You guys know that? You know radio is live? All right, and Beats One is becoming the largest radio station in the entire world. Now, we can explore Beats One and see what's live and listen right now. We can also see the upcoming shows, and we can even see featured shows by legendary artists like Dr. Dre, Pharrell Williams, Mary J. Blige, Sir Elton John. Have you guys listened to a show? It's called The Rocket Hour, okay? It's amazing. And if you haven't listened to it, you can tap right there and listen on demand at your leisure. So that's awesome. Now, when I want to listen to non-stop music, I can go to View All Stations and listen to genre-based stations like Pure Pop, because I like to listen to pop music all day long, why not? But I think since we're coming to the end here, I would like to do something a little bit different and play something for the world, right? So let's play some world hits. See what we've got. Now that sounds like the beginnings of some good Ghanaian high life music. All right, guys, that's the all new Apple Music. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Bose. That's the all-new Apple Music. It is incredible on your iPhone, iPad, your Mac and PC, your Apple TV, and Android too, and that is music. Number 7, let's talk about news. Now, last fall, we introduced Apple News to bring you the best stories from the best publishers, all personalized for you. And we introduced it with a great set of publications. But we've got a lot more. We now have over 2,000 publications in Apple News, and our readers are loving it. In fact, we have over 60 million monthly users reading in news. And with iOS 10, we've got some big changes. It starts with an all-new design. Here's what it looks like. We've taken all of the stories in For You and broken them up into clear sections, which makes them easier to follow. Here's Top Stories. Here's Trending, where you can see the most popular stories right now. All of the topics you follow, like sports. And News is even smart enough to create new topics for you based on what you read. Here's one for me on Formula One racing. And you're going to love our featured stories, where our editors handpick the best stories. But we wanted News to be the place where you read all of the stories from your favorite publications, and that's why we're introducing subscriptions. So now, you can read every article from magazines like National Geographic, newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, right inside of News. And in addition to subscriptions, we're bringing breaking news notifications. And so now you get the most important stories delivered right to your lock screen. That is our big update for News, an all-new design, subscriptions, and breaking news notifications. And that is News. I'd like to turn it back to Craig now.
Thank you, Eddie.
第8个，我们来看一下第
Fantastic
8
new
个
design.
有什么特
Now
别的
on to number 8, and it's HomeKit. You know, before we announced HomeKit 2 years ago, the home
HomeKit,
accessory space was a mess of incompatible and insecure protocols and accessories that required you to download a separate app that you needed to learn just to control each individual accessory. But with HomeKit, we've been changing all that. We're making sure that your home automation products work together easily and securely. And this year, we've rounded out the set of accessory types supported by HomeKit to include important new categories like cameras and door locks. And in fact, essentially every major maker of home accessories is shipping or has announced support for HomeKit. And home builders are getting on board as well. Some of the biggest builders of homes here in the United States and in China are now building new homes with HomeKit built right in, so you can move in and just start controlling your home. But you know, this year, we're taking the next big step for HomeKit and iOS in the home.
We're building on the HomeKit framework with a great new app we call Home. It's right on your iOS home
OK，
screen.
在 iOS 10里面有一个它把 HomeKit 独立成一个独
When you
立
launch
的
the
app，
Home
叫
app,
做
you get to see your
Home。
own personalized
那
wallpaper
你可以在
and
上面
all of your
可以
accessories, no matter who
看
they're
到你
made
目
by.
前可以
You can
控
control
制
them
的
so easily.
所
If you
有
want to
周
turn on the
边，
light, of course, just tap it.
比如说开
If you
灯、
want to adjust the
关
dimmer,
灯、
well, just press in a little
锁
harder
门，
and slide, and you
甚
can
至你
adjust
看
the dimmer
灯
just
都
like
可以
that.
控制这个亮
So
度
you。can tap across all the
只要
accessories
透
in your
过
home. But
手机
sometimes
上
you'd like to
你看
trigger a
这个按
change
钮
to all of them, and for that
就
we have
可
something we
以
call scenes.
去操
So for
控家
instance,
里
if
面
you
的
want
任
to
何
get ready
只
for
要
bed, you can tap
有
Good night.
导入 HomeKit
You'll see that close the living room
这
shades,
些
lock the front
家
door,
庭的
adjust
家
the
电
thermostat,
啊、
all in one
灯
step.
啊，或者
Now,
甚至我们刚
Siri
看
knows
到
how
的
to interact with scenes
这
as
个窗
well.
帘。
So in the morning, you say good morning to Siri. Well, Siri can automatically get your home all ready for you for the
OK， 所
day.
以你以后跟
And
Siri
you
说，
can
哎，
also
早
control
安，
your accessories without
它就
launching
会
an
告
app at
诉，它
all
就会
because
帮你
HomeKit is
做
actually
相对应的
built
动作。
right
你可以
into
设定
Control
这个，
Center.
我们
Swipe up
称这个
Control
叫做
Center.
情境。
You can swipe over to see your home controls.
OK， 那
Just
这
a
个一
tap,
样
for
呢，也可以
instance,
在这个
open
控
up
制
your
中心
garage
上面
door.
去操作，
Now,
一键
HomeKit takes
你可以
advantage
设
of
定
our
很多的东
interactive
西在上面。
notifications as well.
所
So if someone
以
rings
这
the
个其
doorbell,
实
for
就
instance,
是我
you
们
can
在
tap in
说
and actually get a
智慧
live
家
feed
庭的一
of
个
your
概
front
念
door。camera.
那除
Talk
了
to
刚
them
刚我
on
们
the
讲控
intercom
制
if
以
you
外，
want,
你可
and
以再
even
加上一
unlock
些
the door
我们所
all
谓
right
的
from
居
the
家
lock
安
screen
全。
of your
这
iPhone.
个硬是要学其实介绍过蛮多
Yeah.
相关的软体、硬体尤其是在摄影机的部分居家安全其实我们已
Now,
经
since your Apple
在
TV
这一
is
块上
always
面
on,
做了
always
很
plugged
多
in,
的
and
产
always
品
on the
介
network
绍
in your，
还有
home,
一些
it
观
can
念上的
serve
介绍。
as a secure
那
point
现
for
在
remote access and automation within your home.
Apple
So
Home
when you're
上
on the
面
go,
未来
you
会
can
有一个
actually
更好的
access
结
all of
结
your
合。
accessories securely end-to-end encrypted, and you can set up automation like geofences so that when you roll into your driveway, you can make sure that the garage door will open, the lights will turn on, and maybe even the hot tub will start up in the back for you, all automatically. Now, the Home app is great on the iPhone. It's also fantastic on the iPad as well. So many people like using the iPad as the ultimate home control device, whether mounted
那
on
以
the
后
wall
呢
or on the
，iPad 大家可
coffee
以想象，
table.
如果这个界
And
面方便
of
的话，
course,
其实
there's
可能可以
nothing
放
beating
在
the remote
家
that you always
家
have
里
with
的
you
门
right on
旁
your
边哈，
wrist.
比如说你可以
Apple
进
Watch,
家
it
门
comes with
的时候
built-in
呢，
home control
就
support
来
as
上面
well.
操作
So
在
that's
上
a
面操
quick
作，比如
update
说我开
on
灯
Home.
啊，开什么，或是
Next.
你要开
Yes,
家里的
thank you.
门窗啊、窗帘啊、电视、冷气等等，这个都可以直接在上面，所以
Number
以后
9,
iPad 可
phone.
能会成为你
You know,
墙
we
上的
all receive a
装饰
lot of
品。
calls, but we want to make sure that when you miss your calls, you have the best experience possible. So now you can actually get voicemail transcription of your incoming calls, so you can see what it's about without having to listen. Of course, sometimes we are there and we receive a call like this, and we wonder what the heck it's about. And unfortunately, in China, this can be a real problem where there's a lot of voicemail spam. So now we're supporting an extension API where third parties like Tencent can provide information automatically to tell you of possible phone spam.
好，
This
那
is
在
going to be
这
super
里
useful for a lot of people
Apple
around the
又
world.
开放了一个 API，可以让你去扫描这一些可能是诈骗电话。那在台湾，其实，在 Android 上面其实有一个 App 叫做 Who's Call， 是非常方便的，非常方便的防止这些广告的电话或者是诈骗电话。但是在 iOS 上面一直没有一个很好的方式来做。那现在看起来呢 ，Who's Call 在iOS 上面应该有机会可以来一展长才。
VoIP apps can now integrate into the lock screen. They're integrated into your phone recents. They're in your phone favorites. And your contact card has been enhanced so it remembers how you like to call each person, and you can access them that way with just a tap. So we've been working with our partner Cisco on elevating mobility in the enterprise. And now, using our VoIP API combined with their Cisco Spark app, it's never been easier to use your iPhone with work. Because in addition to receiving calls made to your personal cell number, you also can receive calls made to your work number right from your iPhone, whether you're at your desk or on the go. It's really handy. And that's phone. Next, okay, thanks. So next, number 10, and this one's a doozy. It's messages.
Now, Messages is the most frequently used app on iOS, and people love sharing things with Messages, whether it's photos or links to their favorite websites. Like this, but not any longer, because now we have rich links. So when you share links, you get artwork from the website.
这个应该大家很常看到哈，如果有连接的话，它先帮你跑个预览出来 ，OK， 还可以播影片，啊，影片它就直接放在里面了啊，就是你不用再点开来。YouTube 比较直接流量。
And we've made the camera better than ever in Messages. Now when you bring up the camera, you immediately see what's right in front of your camera. Like someone in marketing thought that's what someone sees when they bring up their camera. And you could also slide over and see your family. It's such an incongruous set of images. So you can just tap those and insert them right into your transcript. It's really convenient. Now people really love emoji, and now we've made them 3 times bigger in the transcript, which is fantastic.
接下来啊，这个表情图片，现在越来越流行。以前其实大家比较少用，那现在太多人用，所以我把它放大3倍，不是只有小小的图而已。
But you know, sometimes you've typed a whole message and then you realize at the end that you're totally lacking in emojification. And so we've provided the solution. When you tap on the emoji button, we'll highlight all the emojifiable words there, and you can just tap, 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 emojify.
你可以把文字选起来哈，然后用这个 Apple 蛮跟得上时代的哈，他知道现在大家很喜欢用这种，用这个表情图片，所以你可以用点的方式把它写在成图片。所以呢，以后呢，你可能会看到朋友传了一串的图给你啊，那可能就要自己来翻译。
Today, no matter what you say, it's always the same bubble. It always comes across the same way, but no longer, because now we have bubble effects. So if you want to say it loud, you can say it loud.
Okay.
And if you want to say it more gently,
效果。
well, now you can do that as well.
Okay. 所以这个看起来，说 sorry 的时候要特别小心，找人的时候、敲人的时候要特别大声。
An invisible ink gives you the way to do that.
Okay. 那
you just slide your finger across the bubble and clear away.
还可以送一些隐藏讯息，
它
没有隐藏起来，它只是在那里飘，所以不小心被点到的时候呢，OK。
You can just slide across.
这个连接是什么？图片是什么？
Now，
你可以传一些私密的或者是比较神秘的照片给你的朋友，这个蛮好玩的哈。这个是去学 Snapchat， 这个其实LINE也有类似的功能，只是没有 Apple 设计的这么好玩。接下来呢，你可以写字，所以以后呢，不用寄卡片也可以看到手写的，就不是只能纯粹的这些文字啊、图片、影片这些可以像这种可以。
And sometimes what you say really deserves using the whole screen. So now Messages can do that as well.
你看，就是有时候跨年人说个新年快乐的时候，背景呢就会跑出来这个播一个动画。
You know, making all of this possible in Messages has been a huge effort, cross-functional effort across Apple. And so for our demo today, I wanted to bring up some leads from both our engineering team and our human interface design team to give you a demo. So let's give a warm welcome to Bethany and Emron. Come on up.
好，来，接下来就来看一下 demo。
We are so thrilled to finally be able to show you what we've been working on. Now, Imran and I are going to show you the different ways that we use Messages, but I'm going to kick things off by jumping first into a thread with my sister Lori, who just got to a graduation. So let's write her back and say, give her my love and tell her I said happy graduation day. Okay, now typically I would hunt for the perfect emoji to tack on the end. But now, when I tap on the emoji button, switch to the emoji keyboard, words
再
throughout
点
my
表情
message
符号
that
的
can
按
be
钮，
swapped for
它就会
emoji
标
are
出来哪一些
automatically
字
highlighted.
可以
And
被
all I
取
have
代
to。do is tap to replace them. So I'm going to tap to
Happy
replace
graduation
love, and I'm
这
going
个
to
会变
choose
什
the
么
type
图
of
啊？
parts I want to send. I'm going
可
to
以
do
选一下。
bedazzled, I think. And I can tap on happy, and I choose how happy I want to be.
OK，
What do
它
you
是
think?
两个字，误会
Why
了
don't。you go with the upside down?
No. I'm
Okay.
going to, yeah.
Hey, you be you, Bethany. You be you.
I'm going to do eyes closed, kind of happy, and I tap on graduation, and it switches to the cap, which
这
there
个
is
你
no
看一
chance
下
I
它
would have
是要
found
怎么
that.
翻译咯
We would have been
猫
here
猫
for
狗狗的
days.
下面好多
True story.
那个猪鼻子。
So I'm going to go ahead and send that off. So Lori just sent through a digital touch video, and what's so awesome about this is that she created this entire thing using digital touch right from within messages.
And they're so much fun to make,
那
aren't
在
Yeah,
这样
it's
子
really,
的
really fun to watch. And I'm
多
going to let
多
her
媒体
know
的这
how I
种各
feel
种
about
搭
it
配上，
using
其实你可以
tapbacks,
看到哈，
which
讯
is as
息
easy
传
as
送
double
其实
tapping and
可以
sending
有
back a
更
card.
多有
It's
趣
that
的
quick
应
and
用，
that
其实
fun,
还
and
不错
honestly,
哈
it is my。
不像以
favorite
前
way
只
to
能传
communicate now.
图片啊，
So
是录一
Lori
段
says she
影
can't
片
wait
啊，
to
其实
see
有
me
更
this
多的
summer,
玩
and
法。
I feel the same way. So I'm going to let her know. I'm going to say me too. And I'm going to send this using a bubble effect. So I just press and hold on the send button. And I think gentle will really let her know how I'm feeling. So I'm going to choose
一些
that
效
one.
果，比如说我想要大的哈，小的，大字是小字，然后这些气泡效果。
That sounded a little sarcastic, I think.
Well, I think Laurie felt it, that's
Yeah.
for sure. So now the both of us are going to show you just how fun things have become with a group of friends. I'm going to go in and revive a chat here by sending a digital touch photo. Now, Bethany just showed us how fantastic those digital touch videos look. Let's take a look at how easy it is to make one. I'm just going to launch the camera here.
You want some space up here?
Yeah, just a bit. It is a process, you know?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll pick a color. Let's say, what do you think? What color?
Yellow.
Yellow. All right. Now add my usual shout out and send. It
可以
is
可以在
that
照片马上拍张
easy.
照片，在上面写字，
Hey, it
做
looks
一些
like
图片
Freddie's
的
here
效
and
果，
as usual
传
loud
给你
and
朋友，
always
他
ready
们
to
看
talk
到
about
你
some music.
比
And
如
he
说写
sent
字的
over
字迹啊，
an
还有
Apple
你贴的
Music
字。
link. And what's great about these is I can just play them right in line without ever having to leave my conversation. It's simply the best way to share music. Let's give it a listen. Oh, LCD sound system always sounding so good, especially at Bill Graham. Anne seems to agree, and she said so using a handwritten message. And these things are always so personal, always so fresh. Let's write back and say they smashed it. And I'm going to do so sending a bubble effect. I'm going to choose my favorite, which is slam. Bam always gets my point across.
I think you abused that one a little bit. I'm
You
just
know
gonna
what?
say it.
It never gets old,
Yeah.
right? Oh, it's fantastic, that one. Boy, it looks like I may have smashed the demo for a moment. All right, let's try a different one here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, looks like we might be back up. Let's say it here. They smashed it.
There you go.
One more time.
That works. One more time.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Bam! Always looks good. I really do use it all the time, don't I?
Yeah.
不过换一只手机哈，那个 demo 是有出来。
Okay, so there we go.
You know what? Our friends are always late to the game. They really are.
It's true. It's
Okay, looks like they're playing in San Francisco, and as you might expect with a band like that, sold out. Now, Bethany sent over an effect with invisible ink. This is fantastic for when you want to keep something a surprise, which it looks like you may have. So now, to reveal the contents, all I have to do is use my finger to swipe away the particles. Let's have a look. Oh, Bethany, you got us tickets.
You know.
Always coming through, always coming through. Seems like everyone else agrees. I'm going to show my appreciation by sending some big emoji here. Make sure I put myself in there. And to close things off, let's do this with a full screen effect. We've got some lovely ones here, like lovely balloons. I'll swipe over to confetti. But I'm going to go with this one.
Nothing beats a full screen moment.
That's iOS 10 messages, everyone. We cannot wait for you to try it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bethany and Emron. It's just incredible work. Well, so those are some highlights for messages. But you know, we thought when it comes to expressing yourself that there was so much more we could do if we could tap into all of the creativity of all of you developers. And so we're opening up messages to developers as well with iMessage apps. With iMessage apps, iMessage has an app drawer with all of your iMessage apps. You can tap the plus and get to the App Store and find other apps. And when you download them, of course, they're here in your drawer. And there's so many different kinds of apps you can create, from things like stickers. An artist can create stickers as well without even writing any code. But for developers who do want to write code, they have access to the full iOS SDK, including access to the camera, so they can do incredible animated effects with apps like Jib Jab. You can accomplish more sophisticated tasks as well, like payment with Square Cash, allowing you to pay someone right through the messages thread. They can receive it and redeem it on the receiving end right inside of messages. You know, there's so much you can do with iMessage apps. I'd like to show you a couple of the possibilities in a demo right now. Let's take a look. So let's dive here into a conversation. See, here's a thread with the family. Now I can respond with text, of course, but now with iMessage apps, I can just bring up my app drawer and I can get to all of my different iMessage apps, including some great stickers. So let me dive into these Mickey stickers. We can see that they're all animated. I can actually look through them like this. I can swipe between my stickers, so maybe some from inside out. Here's some from Finding Dory. If I want to send one, I can just tap, drop it right in, just like that. It's really easy and they're really fun. Now, here I received another photo, and the great thing about stickers is you can actually peel them off and attach them to bubbles. So, you know, this one would look cool if I could just take the sun over here, maybe put that up there in the corner, and then maybe a little seal off here on the side, just like that. It's really pretty cool what you can do with these messages. Well, oh look, I got a message from Brian here. Let's take a look at this. He says, we're placing an order for lunch after the keynote, and we can see he's doing that actually with an iMessage app. So he's used DoorDash, and he's placing an order at Curry Up Now. So I can just tap in and see what's going on. Now, there's a group cart that we're all collaborating on through the iMessage apps. I'm going to look at that. Looks like Phil has ordered the Naughty Naan. And Jaws is ordered, Brian's ordered as well. So I can put in my order, and I'm going to go for this deconstructed samosa. That looks pretty good. And I'm sure Tim would like one as well. And well, it would be rude if, you know, we ate in front of you guys without getting you some. So we'll just up this up a little bit here. And we can just add that to our cart like this. And then drop it right into messages. And fortunate Brian will be paying for this. So a final thing I'd like to show you with iMessage apps are these really fun, interactive kinds of apps. And one example is Jib Jab. So let's jump right into Jib Jab here. We see there are a whole bunch of fun things. I can scroll through and see the options. I can also, of course, select from a gallery of faces. Let's pick Eddie maybe. And you know, I can just drop him in to the transcript, just like that. And I think this gives you the sense of the power of iMessage apps in iOS 10.
在 iOS 10里面呢，大量的整合了一些 可以把在既有的操作界面上去做了更大幅度的整合去应用。所以我们看到其实讯息不只是讯息，它可以甚至一层一层的展开更多的应用。
So that's messages, part of 10 huge features in iOS 10. But of course, there's so much more that we can't talk about right now. But I can't help myself but mention just a couple more things, like notes collaboration. You now can work live with multiple people in the same note. Conversation view in Mail, so you can scroll from message to message in a single thread on your iPhone and iPad. Live photos are better than ever. They have digital video image stabilization, buttery smooth, and they're editable now as well. And finally, split view in Safari on iPad, so you can put 2 websites side by side in Safari on your iPad.
Safari 可以。
Now, iOS 10 is a fantastic release for our users. It's also a gigantic release for our developers. When you think about it, experiences like the lock screen with notifications, the phone, maps, messages, every major area of iOS now open to developers, and so many other options. But you know, all of this great work in iOS 10 would be meaningless to us if it came at the expense of your privacy. And so, in every feature that we do, we carefully consider how to protect your privacy. With apps like FaceTime and Messages and HomeKit, we make sure to use end-to-end encryption by default and always to protect your communication.
端点对端点的加密也就是只有你们发讯跟收讯的两端有办法去加解密对方的讯息，所以中间的拦截呢，就算是 Apple 也没有办法去拦截中间讯息，也没有办法去有办法拦截，也没有办法去解密，所以安全性是相对非常高的。那在一些跟外部的运作上呢，资料交换上它是不会把你任何的使用者的个人资料送出去交换出去的。
Well, differential privacy is a research topic in the area of statistics and data analytics that uses hashing, subsampling, and noise injection to enable this kind of crowdsourced learning while keeping the information of each individual user completely private. Now, Apple's been doing some super important work in this area to enable differential privacy to be deployed at scale.
分了不同的层级比如说刚刚我们在看到 Siri 会自动帮你收集讯息这个那它这个呢就是属于个人的资讯，所以它不会把这些资讯呢送到去做整个全面使用者的分析，这个就不会，这个只会留在你自己。所以比如说你讲了一些什么话，做些什么事，这个 Apple 不会拿去做全面的资料分析，只有一些比较，比如说个人比较。比如说你的搜寻行为啊，不是你的讯息行为，搜寻行为它可能会拿去分析，但是太隐私的话，它可能就不会。
So that, well, actually, there's one more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
We are so excited about everything you've just seen with iOS 10. We couldn't help ourselves. We made a video. I'd love to show it to you now. Let's do it.
接下来看一段影片。
But you better kiss my ring. Welcome to the future, Marty McFly. Hello, hello, holla, hey, bye bye. So brand new, so fresh and clean. Nothing better, not better than me. Stronger, faster, shiny too. Here and now and made for you. Walk into the room, gonna make your bang go boom. And I'm like, hey, hi, hello, hey, hi, hello, hey, hi, hello.
That is iOS 10. All of you developers get the developer preview today.
好，那开
And
发人
again,
员
we're
呢
doing a public
一样，
beta
今
this
天
July. Sign up now
可以
at
开始使用。
beta.apple.com, and we'll let you
开放
know
的
when
测
you
试
can
版是
download
在
it.
今年的7
And
月。
iOS 10 will be
那
available
iOS 10
to all of our
会在
users
今
this
年的
fall
秋
as a
天
free upgrade
提供给
across all
这
of
一
these
些，
devices.
赶快看一下
That
这些装置
is
来免费
iOS.
升级。
Now I'd like to hand it back to Tim. Thank you very much.
好，以上呢是 iOS 的部分。
Thanks, Craig. iOS 10 is fantastic, and it's an enormous release. I couldn't be more proud and more excited about the incredible advancements across all of our platforms. Now, as we said earlier, an important part of making these platforms so capable is our developers. We believe it's crucial that we provide the best tools so you can create the best apps. That's why we created Swift. Swift is a powerful and intuitive programming language for iOS, macOS, watchOS, and tvOS. And writing Swift code is fun and interactive, and apps written in it are lightning fast. Since we released Swift less than 2 years ago, we've seen an amazing response from the developer community. There's already more than 100,000 apps that have adopted the use of Swift code, including great apps like Twitter and Strava and Lyft. Now, we wanted everyone to use Swift, so we released it as open source in December, and since then the adoption has been amazing. It's already the #1 language project on GitHub. Swift is powerful, but it's also simple and it's approachable, so it can be your very first programming language. This is a very important point for us. Because Swift is so easy to learn, it has the potential to bring many more people into coding. And this is an idea we would like to take even further. So today, we're introducing a new app for iPad. We call it Swift Playgrounds.
Swift Playground 这个是 for iPad 的 app。
Swift Playgrounds will revolutionize the way people learn to code. And they'll be able to do it right on their iPad, which instantly makes it accessible for hundreds of millions of people around the world. There's never been anything like this. We believe it's the absolute best way to teach everyone to code, combining the powerful Swift programming language and the powerful capabilities of iPad. To show it to you, I'd like to invite Cheryl Thomas up.
在上
Cheryl?
面学吗？我们来看看。
Thank you, Tim. I am thrilled to show you Swift Playgrounds, an incredible new app that transforms how kids learn to code. I'll launch it right now. We land on this gorgeous screen full of custom content from Apple. Up at the top are lessons, and down below we have challenges.
OK， 上面可以
I'm
看到
going
一
to start
些
with the very
可以
first lesson
比
in
较
the fundamentals of Swift.
比较
We see a
色彩
preview
缤
of the
纷的，
content
我
with
们可以看见一些
graphics
课
and a
程。
description,
啊，
and
这
I'll
个
open it.
是给小朋友看的，所以它的
It
图
starts
片
with
上
an
用的会比较多
introduction。to the coding concept I'll be learning, and when I'm good and ready, I can just tap in the lower corner to start coding.
告诉他
Over on the
小
right,
朋友一
you
些
can
啊，
see
告诉
we
初
have
学
an
者一些
interactive
程
world
式在
that I
撰
can
写上面的一些
explore
基本
using
的
touch.
知识啊，比如说刚刚
I'll
的 walk
swipe it,
和 jump，
looks
一个一个的
good,
动作
and。pinch to zoom.
然后还有这个
This
也
is
是
Byte.
放大转，
Use my character. I think he's irresistible, and I'll be
直
controlling
接
him
用这种
with
图片
code.
的方式让大家可以去
Over on the
了
left
解。
are instructions that explain and help guide me through the problem I'll be solving. And down below is where I enter my code. Byte's been waiting patiently, so I'll tap to enter Swift code.
OK， 那
You
你
can
可以
see
啊写
commands
你
have
自
appeared
己
at
的
the
Swift
bottom.
code，
These are
去写你
just
自
like
己的
quick
程
type
式。好，
suggestions, but
那
for
当然
code.
这个是很简单的哈，等下
My
我们应该
objective
是
in this
啊
lesson
简
is
单
to
的
get
指
him
令，
to the end of
那
that
你可以在
path
画面
and
上看
collect
到
the
对应
gem.
的
So I'll
运
tap
作，
move forward 3 times.
对应的效果出来。
and then collect them. Watch the world on the right as I run my code.
往前走。
Byte moves forward, he follows the commands in the exact order I've entered, gets the gem, and I've completed my very first lesson.
OK， 所以呢，这是一个观念啊，你只要有这个观念呢，就可以比较快速的来进入城市的领域。
Now I can continue to the next lesson in the
可以看一
series,
下，
or
它
I
应该
can
有
jump around to
不
wherever
同
I'd
难度的
like.
课程啊，
To
这个
do
是
that, I tap in
初
the
阶
top
的。
left to open the table of contents. And you can see we include a ton of great content here to engage and motivate learners. This one on loops, looping all the sides, looks a little interesting. I'm going to check it out.
他选了一个
Now we have a few lines of code already filled in. I'll go ahead and run it and see what happens. Byte moves forward, he gets the
直
gem,
接执行，
but then he just stops.
就把它左下角的那边的指令。
He's going to need some help. The solution here, and I know you all got this, is that I need to repeat that block of code 4 times to get byte around all 4 sides of the world. To do that, I'm going to need a for loop.
现在我们下
I'll
面
tap
要
the
写一
plus
个
up top to open
更
my
复
code
杂一点点
library.
的程式
And
的
all I
技巧
have to
啊，可以
do
看
is
到，
just drag a
其
for
实
loop
他现在
right
想要做一
into
个
my
回圈
code.
啊，回圈呢，它就是做
Now watch
一
this.
件
I
重
can
复
tap
的
that
事
loop,
情，所以他用了一
grab
个
the end of it, and
回
just
圈的
drag
程
it
式。
all around my code.
OK， 这个其实它可以透过拖拉的方式去做啊。那但是我们看到其实就是一般
Alright,
我
I'll
们在写
tap
程
the
式的
number
时候程式
placeholder,
好，
set
工
this
程师
loop to
都是看
repeat
这
4
样子，
times. Looks good.
就是一连串的
Okay,
英
keep
文
your eyes on
跟
byte.
一些
I run my
基本的
code.
符号。
He moves forward,
你
gets
可以
the
看一下
gem, makes the turn, and this time with the added for loop, he just keeps on going. I've finished another
他会
lesson,
做
and
4
I'm
次，
well on my way to
做4次
mastering.
一模一样的事情，走一步
Wouldn't this have
捡
been
东西，
cool
再
when we
走
were
3
all
步
learning to
右
code?
转。
I mean, come on, you students, let me hear it. Come on.
所以其实写程式呢就是这么简单，当然是骗你的哦。其实写程式这只是一个开头，那后面呢其实还有更多的。不过这个只是一个 playground， 就是让你好玩，然后一个入门，让你
I'll
去
tap
训
in
练
the
一些
top
逻
left
辑
corner to
啊。
go to my library of playgrounds.
以后呢，人人
I
都
can
是
also explore
工程师。
advanced coding and use the power of the iOS SDK to do almost anything I'd like. I happen to have something I've been working on. It combines my 2 favorite things, physics and emoji, interestingly.
这边
Okay,
是
you
一
can
些物
see
理
that
相关，
this
好，我们看一
is a
下
lot more
左边
sophisticated
程
than
式
what
码
we've been
呢，
doing.
就比
I
刚刚
have some
复杂很
emoji on
多
the
了。
right, thank
哦，
goodness.
所以
I can tap to
当然
add
这个
more.
不是一触可及的，我们看一下哈。
That's a big B.
加
Okay.
了一些效果进
Now I
去，
can
有些
also
物理
fling
的
them
哈，
around,
比
and
如说
because this
撞
is
击
physics
啊、
emoji, they create a nice
撞
little
击特效，
reaction.
还有
But you also notice
这
they're all
个
just
物
falling
体
down to the
自
bottom.
那个自由
And
落
that's
体
because
掉落
right
的时候
now
反
gravity
弹
is fixed.
的效果。
So I'm going to go ahead and play around with gravity a little bit, because who doesn't like to do that?
好的，左边
I'm
呢
going
看
to
起来有
double
点复
tap
杂
to
哈
bring。up the keyboard. We've built a completely new coding keyboard, and it is awesome.
Apple 呢，为了这个，它有设计了一个专门给 coding， 就是写程式用的键盘。好，你看，它其实它已经把很多不需要的按钮简化掉。好，那把一些常用到的一些比如说符号大小于挂号、点、问号、惊叹号等等这些符号，都把它设计在这个键盘上。
You're going to get to see that again. I bet you knew that though, right? Look at the W key. I'm going to press and drag down for a number 2. Okay, let's see what kind of impact this had. Let's take this full screen and run my code. Of course, because my playground now has access to the iPad hardware, as I pick up the iPad and I tilt it, all my emoji react. And that's how they like it, I have to tell you. Okay, so I've shown you just a taste of what you can create on your own and a small sample of amazing lessons. That is Swift Playgrounds, a fun and powerful new way for kids to learn to code.
那如果以后你想要给你的小孩学程式的话， 当然不用每个都到那个工程师这样的程度哈。
Thank you,
但是其实有时候动手做一些东西，也是还蛮好玩的。
And because we're combining basic coding skills with real-life code, Swift Playgrounds can profoundly impact the way kids learn to code. So we're releasing it with the developer preview today. It will be in the public beta next month. And it will be in the App Store when iOS 10 ships in the fall. Now, we believe coding should be a required language in all schools. So to help make this the case, we're going to make Swift Playgrounds free. And we hope that this gift to kids in schools around the world will help make coding a part of the school day. That is Swift Playgrounds. Now, powerful tools like these enable developers to create great apps, but they also help the next generation of developers who seek out on their journey to change the world. And to motivate this new generation of developers, we've created a video about what first inspired some great Apple developers to start coding. And I'd love to show it to you now.
Hello, world. So this is the first computer that I coded on.
In the beginning, my biggest challenge was not having access to a computer.
The first line of code I wrote was bouncing ball. It would bounce around the screen, hit the edges, and then come back again.
I think the first one was like a to-do list. It was a to-do list.
I remember the first time I did it when it worked, and it was like magical.
I realized that I can do anything with code. Anything I can think about, I can do it. In Beirut, we experience power outages every day. So let me see if I can just do a simple algorithm that can provide the electricity cutoff time.
It shouldn't cost life to give life. What if we compress all these health guidelines into small movies?
I am one person that saw a problem and created a solution to stop or assist a woman in domestic violence.
What we wanted, what we needed, didn't exist. So at some point, you just say, okay, well, let's do it ourselves.
Let's make an app.
Well, when I first start an app, I have to have a plan.
We start with that little glimmer, that seed of a new, fresh idea.
There's this fear of code, like it's so hard or it's inaccessible, but actually it's not.
Someone who doesn't even know code at all, if they really studied some simple Swift code, they would probably be able to understand it.
Anything's possible, and it all comes from that first step.
Launching the app was a big moment, actually.
I told everyone about it. I'm like, download my app, it's on the App Store.
I was dancing. I called all my girlfriends that I cried to.
It's such a crazy feeling because it's so many emotions, so many wishes, so many dreams.
I always tell my students, do you have Beirut electricity? My son made it. He built it. And the girls, is he single?
By the end of 2016, 1 million women will have a safe birth due to the Safe Delivery app.
If people come together in public spaces, it creates a kind of happiness and it creates a kind of like healing effect for the soul.
Don't touch my code! Dear Kira, young people like you are tomorrow's leaders. You inspire me and give me tremendous hope for the future. Michelle and I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Barack Obama.
These tools are something that we desperately need when trying to change the world.
I think the more people who can learn to code, learn to build apps, the more problems can be solved.
I feel like I'm creating stuff that can actually change the way people live, which is super awesome.
I want to be this amazing coder, this off-the-chain senior developer where everybody comes to me and is like, can you fix this? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and I go in there, I'll just type up the code and damn, and like, wow, you can do this, yay!
It's really incredible to see the inspirations of so many amazing developers, and I can't wait to see what this next generation of developers are going to create to make the world a better place. So I told you it was going to be jam-packed. What a great morning. Great updates to all of the platforms, starting with watchOS, faster performance, better navigation, all new fitness and health features to help you live a better life. tvOS, the future of TV is apps, and it now just got a whole lot better with expanded Siri search and single sign-on. macOS Sierra, bringing Siri and Apple Pay to the Mac, along with some other incredibly powerful features. And a gigantic release of iOS, the mother of all releases. Incredible new features for messages, all new designs for photos, Apple News, and Apple Music, and incredible new opportunities for developers to integrate their apps with Siri, Maps, and Messages. At Apple, we believe that technology should lift humanity and should enrich people's lives in all the ways they want to experience it. Whether it's on their wrist, in their living room, on their desk, in the palm of their hand, in the car, or even automating their home. This is a huge moment for us. 4 great platforms that become even more capable with working with all of you. I'd like to thank all of the developers here today and all of those watching us that have partnered with us in our quest to change the world for the better. And of course, I'd like to thank everyone at Apple, all the teams that worked so hard to make this day happen. Thank you very much and have a fantastic week.
好，那今年的 WWDC 就到此结束。那在后续呢，硬是要学好手跟硬大也会再帮大家整理会后所有今天发表的重点项目的整理。那明天呢，大家早上起床应该就可以看到我们的总整理啦。如果没有看到的话，应该就是晕倒了哈，但是应该是不会了哈，已经有先吃个饱刚丸了，所以不用担心。明天早上大家起床应该记得回来看硬是要学，记得搜寻硬是要学哈，不是什么硬是要得啊，硬是要什么哈，硬是要学。好，那今天晚上呢，谢谢大家跟好手一起在线上看到这么晚。看一下线上还有33个人，好，那这33位朋友，大家晚安，我们明天早上，文字再见，好，粉丝团再见，好，大家晚安，拜拜。